What is up, Friday Nighters? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Friday Night. It is not Friday night. Is that right, Double A?
No, it's not. We wish it was.
We wish it was. Guys, the man to my right, I call him Double A, but that's short for Adamantium. Adam, if you didn't know, now you do. I go by CM Chuck on the when I'm on this show with you, Double A. And together we make up the podcast Just Another Friday Night. Tonight we're trying to send our broadcast out to some new places that we did this last week for the first time. We had Jerry on, and we went out to YouTube and to our Facebook group. But this time we're doing it to our Facebook page, our YouTube, and our Twitch. We have a Twitch channel. We don't use it very much, but it's there. And so maybe we'll get some traction on Twitch. We're going to give it a shot. The way we do things, guys, we like to open up the show and allow some time for everyone to kind of trickle in and join the conversation. Tell us what you liked, read, watched, saw this week in the world of pop culture. And then at the 30-minute mark, we get into our topic and we start talking, whatever our topic is for the night. Usually we kind of give it away by the things in our background or what we're wearing. So it's pretty easy to follow. But how about you, Double A? So far, we recorded together last night, yes. Not on our show, but on a guest show. Our guest from last week, Jerry D.
Jerry D, the awesome Christmas podcast host.
Yes. If you guys ever want, if you're in the reason for the season right now, the Christmas season, you want to go check out a really awesome podcast, go check out Jerry's podcast, Totally Rad Christmas. It's super fun about everything rad that was Christmas in the 80s. As he says, fads, movies, music, and trends. If it was gnarly in the 80s, they've got it covered. Mm-hmm. And he does. And he had us on. We won't reveal what the episode was about.
No. But our episode will be popping out Monday.
Yeah, on Monday, on Jerry's feed. And he'll share it to our
I'm sure he's going to trim it down because it was pretty damn long last night. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of trimming to do.
He does a much tighter episode
no pun
than we
intended,
do.
Trimming.
Exactly, yeah. He does about an hour episode length.
I don't know how long we were on, but it seemed like
we went
longer.
Past
the wire.
And this was your suggestion. That's pretty cool.
It was my suggestion, yeah. And I hadn't intended on us to be on the show. I kind of wanted him just to see if he did it so I can hear it, and or maybe he can do it with someone, But then he said, well, I got a few dates open for you guys. How about we do it then? I was like, oh, okay. I was like, sorry, CM.
So Double A inadvertently booked us in a match, and we were like, well, here we go. Now I guess we're on the road.
But, man, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun, like always. That was my second time being on his show. Mm-hmm. CM's been on his countless times already.
Yeah, it's already been quite a few times. As Jerry calls
it fun. He runs a really nice show, really tight show. So it was cool.
Jerry's good at directing traffic too and kind of getting you where you need to be when it comes to his show. So again, we definitely want you guys to go and check out Totally Rad Christmas, especially Monday's episode, which will be on. But if you want to see us in the past, we've been on past episodes. We did an episode with him regarding the Thundercats, which was our first episode with Jerry. It was a lot of fun. I've been on an episode with him talking about Pizza Hut in the 80s, Christmas in the 80s, Pizza Hut, and their ads. And I've also been on there with him with talking wrestling. Unfortunately, we missed Double A on that one, but
I wish I could have been on that one.
I would have loved to have Double A been there. I would love to have Double A been there, not me, and just listen to it.
Wrestling is like one of my favorite topics. If we're talking about 2005 on down, you got me hooked.
Big time.
After that, I'm lost.
I'm sure Jerry will do another one. It was a lot of fun, and it kind of got off the rails with a lot of the younger guys on there, kind of talking more about modern wrestling than we focused on the 80s wrestling. Then I was also on an episode with Joe from Now Watch This, the Now Watch This podcast with Lucky and Joe. We and a group of other guys. We talked about Batman, oddly enough, 89 and Batman Returns, which kind of is a Christmas vibey movie, big time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So we were on that one.
Tim Burton loves Christmas.
Yeah, he does love Christmas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that was a fun one. And so those are episodes of Jerry's you can go check out. And he has a slew of other people on other episodes. Talks about everything from the Karate Kid to Gremlins. It's always a lot of fun and a good time. And it's a fun listen. So go check that out. Especially go hear us on there. So we appreciate that. What else, Double A? We got. Let's check out the comments real quick. Jason in the house says, "What's up, bros? What's up, Jason?"
What's up, Jason?
Rich says,
"Hey, Rich.
What's up, bros?" He says, "Cheers." Oh, I got to crack me a cold one for you guys. Double A not drinking with me tonight because it is Thursday. So, well, let me get something in here first. I don't want to toast on an empty. But me, see, I'm Chuck don't care. It's like, oh, fuck, I'll get toasted today. So, you know what I mean? But,
Jason said his show is funny as shit.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, awesome.
And Joe says, "What up, boys?"
What up, Joe? We appreciate you being here, brother. Are you potting, Joe, this week? Have you guys recorded? I'm missing my fix of the Now Watch This with Lucky and Joe show. Great podcast, guys. When you're not listening to us, go listen to our buds. Okay, I'm ready for that toast now, Double A. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to leave you hanging. All right, here you guys, Rich, and you guys out there in watching land. Steve is here.
Steve in the house.
What's up, Steve? Oh,
and
Justin from Ohio in the house. Justin, we
Cheers,
appreciate you
Steve.
being here. We have got some majorly cool things coming from Justin. He's been on a hiatus. He's working on his art. He has a really great Karate Kid piece out there right now. Justin, I got to get your. Feel free to post your social media links in there. He's selling some great art pieces for $20. They're beautiful. I really want to get one of them. You know, Karate Kid in the shower. He's got the shower wrapped around it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he's doing some great stuff for us that we want to bring to you guys really soon. In fact, I think we're going to debut it at a pretty cool event coming up, right? Double A, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so not too long ago, like I follow a local wrestling business shop owner on our social media, you know, because every now and then he'll bring in wrestlers to sign. I've met plenty of wrestlers because of, you know, Oscar from the wrestling shop. And all of a sudden he came out with this kind of like promo, I guess you can say, saying that he was having a whole bunch of Texas independent wrestlings come together at Rolling Oaks Mall, and he invited wrestlers, promoters, vendors, and what was interesting was he invited podcasters. And I was like, CM, he said podcasting, you know.
What time is it?
Yeah.
Podcasting time!
So, you know, CM kind of wanted to dig in a little bit more, you know, and we went to talk to Oscar, and he liked what CM liked what Oscar was selling, and so we put our name in the basket, and yeah, we're going to be there, man. January 15th at Rolling Oaks Mall from 12 to 6 at this huge Wrestle Fest that's going on. A whole bunch of Texas wrestling's promotions are coming together. And it's called Wrestle Fest. It was called Brawl at the Mall, but they changed it to Wrestle Fest.
Yeah, and he's got, I know one of the promotions involved is Mission Pro Wrestling. I believe Thunder Rosa, that's, I believe, her promotion, I think.
It is, yes, I believe so.
So if you guys know Thunder Rosa of AEW fame, Ring of Honor also? Was she Ring of Honor?
No, NWA.
NWA, okay. Impact? Did she do Impact too?
I don't think she's had Impact. But she's been around.
What's really cool about her too, she lives in San Antonio.
Yes.
So she takes a lot of pictures on her social media, and it's here in San Antonio. So if you're from San Antonio like us, really cool. And she's amazing in the ring.
I mean, look, see, we've been to a lot of indie shows ourselves, and surprised to find out that a lot of them have gone on to AEW, Impact, WWE. I mean, we saw Sammy Guevara and Ricochet tear it down before both of them
Wrestle Circus in Austin.
Yeah.
Ray Rowe was the champ at RCW when I was trying to get myself involved with the RCW promotion at a local church right near where Double A's mom used to live. So I was like, whoa, cool. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, this guy is went on
CM saw Bryan Danielson at Shawn Michaels' school when he was running his wrestling promotion.
Texas Wrestling Alliance.
I mean, who would have thought that guy who signed American Dragon on your piece of paper
on my flyer for the show
will go on to become like one of the biggest wrestlers of of this era. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, so you never know who these guys are going to be. 10 years, 5 years down in the future. So I mean, we've seen them. We've seen it happen with our own eyes.
Everyone starts somewhere, man, and sometimes these indies promotions are the best.
How many shows did we go to and meeting wrestlers, and now they're main event guys now at WWE and AEW.
Yeah, I mean that's where you met the Bucks and AJ Styles.
Red Dragon.
I met the Bucks.
Adam Cole. We got to meet Adam Cole.
Matt Taven. The Kingdom, the Briscoes.
You met Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Kevin Steen back then.
Yeah, Kevin Steen.
Very cool.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah, man, and like they're just hanging out. You know what I mean? So it's always fun. I've never been to a wrestling event in a mall, so that'll be cool.
Me neither.
And malls are so fun, right? Because they have like a retro vibe now. At this point, malls are kind of becoming a thing of the past. So
yeah, they really are.
Like it's cool. There's a good food court in Rolling Oaks. You know what I mean? And like,
so
it's a fun mall.
We'll be there like pretty early, about 11 probably. I think we agreed on, and we'll be selling. We won't be selling our stuff. That's a no go at this event, but we will. I will be selling it. In CM2, we'll be selling wrestling merchandise, old DVDs, autobiographies, VHSs if you're still into that. So.
Yeah,
figures. If we have any,
I'm gonna dig through my stuff too and see what I can find. But again,
whatever we make, it's all gonna go back right here.
Yep. So better mics, better gear. Eventually, me and Double A want those kind of mics like Joe Rogan has that sit in front of you.
Man, if you guys want to come, we'll have a chair for you, and you can hang out with us for a little bit.
This is an invite for Albert, Joe, Sean, my wrestling head guys. You've wanted to come chop up wrestling with me and Double A.
We can say that you're a part of the Just Another Friday Night podcast.
Absolutely. You're the Friday Night faithful. Yeah, you're the Friday Nighters. Yeah. Let's read some comments here. Let's see what we got. Steve with the cheers.
Joe says Batman 92. Let's go.
There you go.
And Joe says they're going to do an 8-bit Christmas Sunday.
I just watched that. Have you watched 8-bit Christmas yet? No. Really good.
Is that the one on HBO Max?
Yes, with Doogie.
Okay.
He's always Doogie Howser to me, but I know he was on that other show. But it's so much fun. You're going to like it.
It looked like it.
Sabrina will like it too. Yeah, you're going to have a good time.
Rich says that's awesome. Congrats on our news.
Thank you very much, Rich. We appreciate that, man. We hope to see you out there. Maybe you'll come
Rich,
out.
Man, if you can, just stop by and like you said, you can hang out with us. You don't have to be at the mall.
Yeah.
You can, we'll grab a chair.
We won't be allowed to drink beer, but that's okay. I'm happy to drink soda with you guys, or lemonade, or sweet tea. You know what I mean? So it's more about hanging out. What else?
Justin Martin goes, damn, I wish I was around.
Us too, Justin, but don't worry, you're going to be there more in spirit.
I wish I was around here. That's what he said,
Yeah.
Amy in the house, my favorite co-host.
There you go. What's up, sis? Appreciate you being here.
What's up, favorite pod? Rich says, sounds like it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, totally.
Joe says, Thunder Rosa is the only good thing on AEW. What about Punk and Danielson?
Joe's turned his back on anyone that's it's just.
It sounds like Albert.
That guy's mainlining the WWE Kool-Aid there, Joe. Come on, Joe. Get on board, man. It's good wrestling. Come out for good wrestling is what you come out for.
Amy says that we kick ass as usual. Thank you
very much, sis. We appreciate that.
TWA.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Man, I wish I could have gone to those shows. I never got to go once.
Amazing.
I wish just to have supported Sean.
Yeah, who would have known? Yeah.
Jason asked how Mario Delgado is doing. Mario is doing good. Mm-hmm. He is fine. Jason, you can message him yourself, but he's doing excellent.
Yeah, man. So, he always loves to hear from all you guys. Yeah. He's out of sight, but he is never out of mind. He is not forgotten. We love Mario.
Doing great.
We don't talk to him like every single day, but we just talked to him, and we may see him soon.
I just purchased a comic, so I am going to go see him pretty soon. He sold me a really good comic. Again, all you guys have to do is just message him. I'm still buying him like if he's still around,
Yeah.
I
text him sometimes just to see how he's doing. You know what I mean?
Let me see. Joe says Chuck looked eye to eye with Adam Cole. Man, you know what? Adam Cole, he's awesome. He's awesome, but man, he's not that big.
No, he's not.
I looked way bigger than he did. You know.
What about when we met a great guy like Bandito? Wasn't that awesome?
Man, Bandito was awesome.
Very cool, and he's retweeted us. He's shared
He followed us. Too.
He follows our podcast, and he's shared our images on his Instagram, which is very cool. It looks like we got some bots in here from YouTube, so that's not good. I gotta figure out how to delete those.
And then Joe says, "Double A made the Bucks look small." Yeah, they are small guys. How did you see them, Joe? Did you show them some pics?
Maybe, but you have pics with the Bucks.
But I don't think I've ever posted them because
Double A makes a lot of other guys look small.
I never wanted to show like how small those guys really are.
I saw them super kicking Orange Cassidy the other day in the faces, But what else we got here?
Joe says he got an old toy to donate. Okay, as long as it's wrestling.
That's cool.
Hey, if you have those Mexican wrestlers you want to get rid of, like that you used to buy at the Dollar General, with the fake belt. Yeah.
My nephew used to love the one with like the two sticks. He was literally you'd squeeze the 2 sticks and he'd do flips. I was like, that thing was like give you hours of fun right there. I love that thing.
Rich says that I'm gonna have to check that out. Sounds like fun. Yeah, Rich, you know what? You can sit with us, man.
Steve, if you're still hanging out, Steve, you have asked us and told us what about doing a live event? What about we were kind of waiting for the right thing to come around, and it has. I've also reached out to the owner of El Luchador Bar to see if there's anything maybe he wants to have on the table or whatever to represent the bar. We're happy to do that since it's a wrestling themed bar. We're hoping to hear back from them. But yeah, Steve, like you said, we're going to be doing this thing live. So from, again, 12 to 6 on January 15th. It's a Saturday, guys. Rolling Oaks Mall.
And I know Rolling Oaks is kind of like way off people's courses, but
but number one, it's like it's got a lot of great stores. You can get good shopping there. There's also really cool guys we met that have 2 of our stickers on their cabinets. The guys at the Level Up Art Gallery.
Yes.
We met them through Alfred and the Comic Book Core, Collector's Cove. What is it? Collector's Cove Corp. So sorry, Alfred. It's because so many C's, Alfred. Collector's Cove Corpse. We met Ray from Level Up there. It was really cool. And he's got a great gaming setup, man. You can go in the back and play games. You can go play. You might not be able to get a PS5. You can go play some PS5, though.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, he's got many great local artists that you might only see at markets, things like that. You bought some of the art.
And I've had them up here, too, in the background before. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. A pretty cool store. A lot of great stuff in there.
Not to mention that, but, yeah, we'll be down there at the event with the wrestling. But you go into Oscar's shop, Wrestle Shop. If you're a wrestling fan, oh my gosh, Justin, you would love this. This guy has all the figures, belts, realistic replica belts. Go give him a follow on Instagram, man. Just check out Oscar's stuff. He has a great shop. I would call it probably the premier wrestling shop.
Very passionate dude. Again, he's had so many wrestlers come in. He told us some great stories about what some wrestlers told him. Some advice that wrestlers told him on how to keep going.
And originally from the Valley, right? He said.
Yes. So, and he started off at the flea market. He said that's how he started, just on the flea market, and then it grew and grew, and then he went to Wonderland and grew, and then now he's at Rolling Oaks. And man, that store is super clean.
Yeah.
Toys, all the variants you can think of. All the Warriors, Von Erichs, Hogan's, Flairs, Rhodes. I mean, and like CM said, he has like a rotating line of belts. Sometimes he'll have like a WCW TV belt. The other day when we went, he had the WWF tag team belt, the classic belt. So I mean,
and Double A, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like a free event, right? It's not like they can't charge people to come in the mall at noon, right? So you could the wrestling's going to be going on. You could just come and sit. Like I said, we're going to have a booth. We're going to have some stuff on it. We're going to have our setup like we have right here, so we can hopefully talk and get some good Wi-Fi, get some good recordings. I'm hoping that Thunder Rosa will sit down with us, and I'm really hoping she'll throw on just another Friday Night Podcast T-shirt. Maybe you guys can help me convince her when you're there. But that's what we're going to be going for and shooting for. Again, if we make a little money, great. If we don't, I'm going to have some giveaways for the Friday Night Faithful, the Friday Nighters. Me and Double A are going to have that stuff there. Again, some of it is coming courtesy of our great friend in Ohio, Justin Martin, who co-designed our logo. You can see it right here above my head. Yeah, or on Double A's shirt. And we're adding even more, much like the Mona Lisa gets touched up, we touch up our logo from time to time to make it more user friendly, more perfected. And this newest version coming out, guys, I cannot wait for you all to see it. Not even Double A has really seen it truly unveiled. You've seen a little bit, but when you guys see it, it is extra rad and functional too, if that makes sense. What else we got in there comment wise though?
Joe says at the flea market with rubber bands for ropes.
Damn right. Badass.
Justin says, dude, that would be sweet to drop in on a live episode. Get the mics.
Come on, you're dropping in right now on a live episode. Come on in. Dude, we could hook you up virtually too, as long as we're getting good connection in there. And
which
you know
Oscar
what? We
said,
could do that too.
Oscar said it should be okay, so.
Yeah.
And Joe says maybe me and Luck can sit on with you guys for a little bit. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's Luck's neck of the woods,
That's
so
awesome.
come on out. Yeah. In fact, when we went and set all this up, we were hanging with Luck.
Yeah.
Where were you, Joe? Where were you?
He got mad. Well, when the picture came, remember?
That's right, yeah.
He's like, bro, you guys should have called me.
Yeah. Dude, and Lucky brought me goods in a box, which I was like, is this a rib? You trying to rib me? How about a bag, Luck? But it was all good, man. I want to say a super big thank you and again one more time to Jerry D of Totally Records, because our audio totally screwed up last week and he saved our bacon. I know that I totally switched gears right there real quick, but it just made me think I wanted to thank him because our audio was whack, and Luck is the one that let me know. That's why I thought about it. He was like, your audio on Spotify is super fucked up. So I was like, you can't hear Jerry. So luckily Jerry was able to rip our audio and save us, and I was able to re-upload the episode. So thank you again, Jerry. and all you guys for the comments. And we hope to see you at the freaking WrestleFest,
And
right?
like,
Double A?
like I said, it's January 15th, so it's not like it's tomorrow. It's not this Saturday. It's January 15th.
Yeah, you got time to plan. Christmas will be over.
Yeah, it'll be
you
long
know.
over.
I don't want to hear those excuses. You probably got Christmas money. You probably got a wrestling buddy. You can bring the wrestling buddy with you. We'll all wrestle with it. I'll drop some top rope, elbow drops. They're gonna have a cosplay contest.
Yeah.
You
Dress
know,
up as your favorite wrestler. And,
Yeah.
and according to Oscar, if you win, I guess a whole bunch of
$100
stores.
gift card.
$100 gift cards from, he said, multiple stores. Like, so
Yeah.
I guess I don't know who's in there, but you'll get $100 gift certificate to one of the stores. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty damn
I mean,
cool.
guys, that's sort of that, it has everything. I think there's like a
there's a Hot Topic. I mean, there's a Level Up.
there's a Spencer's.
I mean, it's just like any other mall.
There's a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, food court.
There's
Yeah.
Women's clothing stores.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. I mean,
It's just I know Rolling Oaks is just like way out here though compared to like North.
from where we are, kind of. And even then, truth be told, we're kind of not that far from it. Like, we're up the
not.
road.
I used to go there a lot when I lived in Converse. I used to go to that mall.
You know what I always tell people I like about that mall? It had good stores and it was never packed.
Yeah,
never busy.
exactly.
They have an H&M. They have an H&M.
Exactly.
People like H&M. So, guys, again, we hope that you'll come out, come sit with us, hang out, shoot the shit.
If you love wrestling, you want to talk wrestling, I mean, we're there. So
I'm not going to confirm or deny that I may have a boot flask. Maybe. I don't know. Nobody knows. Somebody knows. But I may even throw my own name in the ring for the cosplay contest. If anyone's seen my past Halloween costumes on my personal profile, you know that they're there.
Or Adam, if he came from
Austin, our good the other Adam in our friend group, they call him the Imitation Adam, because obviously we have the real thing right here. He came as Macho Man to our friend group Halloween party one time, and it was pretty impressive. I was like, damn, that's like the Slim Jim costume straight up. Like, it looked pretty good.
It was funny too because like I was drunk, and so I came back home and I grabbed my belt and I told him to wear it. Like, he was like, what about the autographs? I was like, don't worry about the autographs, just put it on. And
which was awesome because it was the Wing Eagle belt.
It looked better when he put it on.
I give him props for that because he spends a little bit of cash on those costumes because they had the glass, the macho, the Madness glasses.
Even his wife, like, she joined in and she dressed up
was
like
Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So, and I had her carry the belt. I was like, no, you got to hold the belt too.
Yeah. We would have told him to put her up on his shoulder like Macho, but he doesn't have any shoulders. So, yeah. And I think that year they put their baby as Hogan, I believe.
Oh man, I don't remember.
I think that might have been like for their Halloween pictures. I think I
I don't remember.
I have to go back and look. What else we got in comments here, Double A?
Joe says, "What you gonna do when WrestleFest runs wild on you?"
That's right.
And then he says, "Lucky can take his no hold barred copy." Oh man,
oh,
you can't take that one, Joe. That's
is he selling?
That's
that?
like a Holy Grail of wrestling movie.
He tried to auction that off on one of his auctions. I remember. I was like, wow.
And nobody bit.
Lucky was like a one and done. Like,
want to rip him?
Yeah. I told him I'll take that copy. So it's special because it got watched by the Now Watch This podcast. It was the copy they watched.
That is special. That's a piece of Now Watch This.
A podcast history there. Yeah. What else, Double A? Anything else? Oh, a little bit of something housekeeping. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, real quick was the guys. This is super fun and super cool too. Again, I need to thank Lucky again because he's been telling me this for a while, telling us this for a while. But I finally got it done for us. So guys. We have all this social media. We have YouTube. You're like, man, I wish there was one place I could go and just see all the links. Well, now there is. Because we are officially the proud owners of www.justanotherfridaynight.com. Type that into your web browser on your phone or on your laptop or on your tablet. It's going to go there. It's going to take you right to our link tree. Link tree is pretty much all the buttons where it's got, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok. It's got a little button there. You click any one of those buttons you want. It'll take you to any one of our social medias you want. But we are officially justanotherfridaynight.com. So we're super happy, super proud of that.
Thank you, Lucky.
Yeah, thank you, Lucky. And thank you, Joe, also, because we're taking a cue from Now Watch This that they've had that for a while. So it's just smarter. It's just easier. We get asked for our website all the time. We didn't really have a website, but now we do. We have an official website. So we're just, and again, it just takes you type it in, it just goes right to our link tree, and then everything, all the links are there to the different things we have, our various social medias. There you go. Double A's got it pulled up there. Tip it down, probably. There you go. Yeah. Kind of see that's exactly what it's going to look like. You're going to see our logo, a blue background, which is generic because we're not paying for the expensive link tree because we're trying to make more money still. But everything else is right there, guys. Oh, even the link to Three-Legged Rabbit where our merch is. Some of our merch that you can get. only through Three-Legged Rabbit. There are certain items you can only get there that we don't have anywhere else. You know how we try to mix it up. Some things you can't get the rest. We got asked recently about Christmas ornaments. That's something that you can't get at Three-Legged Rabbit, but Three-Legged Rabbit you can get tank tops, t-shirts, hoodies. There might be beanies and ball caps. They don't have our logo on them, but they have our initials on there, JAFN.
They have the shirts that Rizzo designed for us.
Yes, the amazing shirts that Chris Rizzo designed with us.
You said tank
from
tops.
Invincible Comics, yes.
Tops, grays.
Invincible Comics and more.
Beanies.
Guys, Chris Rizzo, beanies.
Flex hats. Trucker hats.
Good stuff. I'm telling you, yeah. Friday Nighter, Jay Dallas has a trucker hat. I haven't seen him wear it in a while, but I mean,
The
he
beanie looks
does have
pretty
it.
sweet.
Yeah, the beanie's cool. The beanie's cool. Rich says,
And it looks like you can actually get a shirt like mine.
yeah, the black and white one. Except yours has a back.
Yeah, mine's a
The
special custom made one.
Yeah, we're like The Rock. Remember when The Rock would come out with his stuff and he put like the captaincy
this
on
is,
there?
Yeah, this is my custom made
That's
shirt.
his custom one, yeah. Rich says, that's awesome. Joe says, awesome, justanotherfridaynight.com. Joe says, got the OnlyFans there for Chuck. Yep, you know that I'm there, baby. Come on, baby. Joe says also, I gotta share me an ornament pic. Oh, okay, I want to see that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do. You know, that might have been what I got asked of. Somebody was like, man, they wanted ornaments for Christmas time.
I had one made for us, but that was just for us, and it was made.
And then we got gifted some for Christmas, and they're on our. We have each respectively have one that are on our trees from Deuces Mercado. Amazing Annie over at Deuces. We might be having more stuff coming from her soon. I need to throw up a link for her as well. But if you guys need stuff made, go see. Look up Deuces Mercado on Facebook. Annie will get you taken care of. T-shirts, mugs. Anything. She can make anything, and it's amazing. You could get socks, just another Friday Night socks if you wanted them. So
Joe
very
says
cool.
he has one.
Yeah, I remember that, Joe. That was one of the things you had asked for early on before you had your own pod. Now only reps the Now Watch This pod, but hey, you got to rep your brand, man. I respect that. So very cool. I don't think what I don't have on there, which I'm broadcasting to you now, our Twitch link. I need to add our Twitch link to our link tree.
I don't know if you'll ever see anything from there.
I'm hoping to like grab a whole another crowd from Twitch. AA. Like,
maybe the monkey and the unky will do something.
The monkey and the unky, they're
maybe
around.
They'll do something.
You know, I'm hoping that the monkey comes out. You know,
maybe the monkey will handle our Twitch account. I mean, you see, I even fucked that up. I was like Switch.
The monkey don't
Twitch,
like me to
maybe.
talk on when I do episode with the monkey. He's kind of just like, can I do the opening? Can I do the? All right, monkey's
well, you know what? Maybe he needs to do our Twitch because I heard that's where most of the WWE guys go to play Nintendo, and
I've seen smaller band guys too, like gamer guys go there. Gamer guys go. So AJ Styles, right?
Yeah, AJ.
Xavier Woods.
He loved it. Yeah, they loved it when they let him do it.
Yeah, when they let I know before they put see, there you go, Joe. They put the shackles on them, man. They be taking things away. They be taking things away over there.
Joe says he wears his shirt all the time. Awesome, Joe.
We appreciate that, man. Yeah, I really save my Now Watch This for special occasions. You know, but yeah, like
we love it too. We love it too because like Friday Nighters, John Hope and Roxanne Hope, they are out there right now tonight wearing our shirts.
Yeah, at the Spurs game. Yeah,
and we didn't tell them to. So
no, we didn't tell them. They're matching, and I think it's the first time that Just Another Friday Night merchandise is within the sanctum
Center.
of the AT&T Center, the Spurs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not. Well, yeah, it's so called.
What are we calling it now? I don't know. Yeah, it's about to go out.
Yeah, okay.
I say you guys help me sign a petition to change it to the Just Another Friday Night Center. Wouldn't that be awesome? Very cool. Joe says a lot of podcasts on Twitch. We appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, we want to be on there.
Okay.
Excuse me, amongst them. Are you guys on Twitch, Joe? Let me know. Y'all guys should get on there if not. Anything else, AA, before we get into it?
Just, you know what? They teased the Cobra Kai trailer, new trailer. Mm-hmm. It's coming. It's coming like in 3 weeks.
I can't wait.
December 31st.
Did you get to Hawkeye yet or no?
No, not yet. Not yet, but I am going to get there.
Great episode, this one. Episode 4. We're keeping up. You guys know we're going to cover it, so we're not going to get into it before that. It's going to be fun. It'll be this month, too. We're going to cover it in December, so be ready for that coming. And we think there's a little movie about a spider coming out, maybe. A little bit of buzz about that movie. We know where we'll be next week. And so next week, another early episode, guys. Yeah,
for sure.
Me too. Tickets are bought. So
yeah, I got my tickets too for Thursday.
Yeah, me and AA both took out a loan. We bought the $10,000 tickets on eBay. So, but guys, yeah, next week's show will be early again on Wednesday this time. Yeah. AA has family stuff. Like I have family stuff this week. That's why we're early this week. And then the following week, the holidays start hitting. So it'll probably be early because of that. Because his wife and my longtime girlfriend, which is like my wife, they ain't having that. Friday
know
night
it sucks
shit.
too because I am off. I am going to be off those 2 Fridays. That's what kind of blows.
Yeah,
too.
we could give y'all a long show, drink a bunch of eggnog, and
that'd be
get
awesome.
trash, but they're like, no, we don't think so.
Yeah.
Holidays are for the family, they say so.
Damn it.
Family first.
We are family.
Yeah, I know. That's what I tell them. Yeah. That's it. And you guys are our family. The Friday Night Faithful is our family. We try to tell them that. You guys got to help us convince them. But either way, we got WrestleFest in January where we're going to do our own brand of Christmas. All right, guys. We're going to take this quick first quote-unquote break. We're going to read through some more comments. Then we're going to come right back in and we're going to get into a topic I cannot wait to discuss with all of you right after this. All right, Friday Nighters. You guys still here hanging out? You guys ready to adrenalize me during this episode? It's going to be fun. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out on Thursday. Double A, I shot him in the foot because he doesn't drink on non-Fridays, so, you know.
Yeah, like Friday and Saturdays are my bad days where I don't take my medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Sunday through Thursdays, like usually my medicine time. So,
We just talked about how our age demographic that we hit is like, you know, all guys and all older guys, and then here we are talking about our medicine, so it's like we should not talk about...
For me, it's like pain. I work a lot of warehouses, so...
I can get into my hemorrhoid cream, but y'all don't want to hear about that.
I put my body through hell, like literally. So like when I come back on Fridays, I'm like ready to drink, and that actually helps me put me to sleep. Where I don't feel the pain.
Double A is much like the subject of our show tonight.
Yeah.
With the scars, man.
20 years, man, of doing that kind of stuff.
I'm like your Alfred, Double A.
Let me see.
Double A's younger than me. But
about 17 years of doing like really physical labor,
Yeah.
like hard physical labor.
you put yourself through that stuff.
I
Yeah.
put myself through that bullshit.
Um,
Joe says, oh, you have like 4 Now Watch This shirts. Go to 3legged-rabbit.com. Get yours for Christmas.
Yeah, sell them, Joe. Sell them shirts, man. And we're going to direct you guys there when it comes to the WrestleFest. We're going to be like, hey, if you want one of these and you want to buy it.
Hey, Joe, though, if you want to sell a Now Watch This shirt at that WrestleFest, make sure it has like a luchador or something.
Yeah, put something on there. And I no luck can make you go up one real quick.
Say NWT is like a Mexican promotion or something.
Yeah, and Chris Rizzo did a great design for them as well, where he kind of it looks like tagging, like the NWT, like it looks really badass.
That's what I'm saying.
Really
make it say like it's a Mexican promotion.
Yeah, that's one I want to get my hands on.
We'll say JFN. It's a Mexican promotion.
Yeah, it's like half
Well, you're
in.
Mexicans.
Yeah. Half in. That's like you know. What does Rich say
Rich
here?
says, LOL, I will sign that petition.
Yes.
And then he says he can't wait for Cobra Kai either. I can't wait for it.
Good.
I'm going to be off that Friday, so...
We're binging?
I'm binging
Let's
that day.
binge.
I'm binging that day.
Foxy Roxy in the house. She says, hola guys. Rox, who's winning the game? Are we winning? Are the Spurs kicking butt or what?
Roxanne's super busy right now. Super busy. Jason says, you're a badass. Love y'all shows.
Thank you, brother.
Jace.
Thank you. Jason, I hope you'll come out that weekend when you ask us what's going on this weekend. We're going to tell you WrestleFest, Rolling Oaks Mall, January 15th. Be there, 12 to 6. Plenty of time for you to come out, sit with us, hang out, drink some Big Red, and see what's going on, man.
Yeah.
That guy at Oscar at Wrestle Shop has some. He does have some Marvel figures.
Mm-hmm.
He does have some in there.
Joe says, on a school night. And then Joe says, you're his dick, Grayson.
That's right. Thank you.
Ray says, definitely a badass cartoon. Ray in the house. What's
What's
up, Ray?
Mr. Choppa, Razor Ramon?
Glad you're in here. I hope the job's going good for you, Ray.
Yeah, Ray.
You deserve it, pal.
You need to be there Saturday, January 15th, 2022 at the Rolling Oaks Mall WrestleFest. Come and sit with me and Double A. You said you wanted to come on the show. You said you wanted to talk about stuff. Well, we used to pile drive you, hit you in the head with shit, and also get beat up by you too. When we would all have our own hell in a cell, hell in a pool, hell in anything in this guy's backyard. You were there for those times, man. So come on out that day, hang out with Just Another Friday Night. You're a Friday Nighter. You're one of the Friday Night faithful. We want you to hang out. What else we got in comments here, Double A?
Joe says NWT club shirt.
Ooh, I like the idea there. You're going to shoot that to Lucky. There you go. Smart idea.
Roxanne goes, she's not too sure. She's at home.
Oh, we thought you were at the game with Holte.
And
Okay.
then Rich says it's halftime. Spurs up by 9. Thank you for update,
yes,
Rich.
good update.
And then Roxanne says, shameless plug for my event on Sunday at the Bang Bang Bar, the Naughty or Nice Holiday Market, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And you know what? It's going to be nice weather outside. Go out there. Help Roxanne. Become a vendor out there. CM has been there.
Roxanne helped me today. I want to give a huge shout out to Foxy Roxy because right now also too El Luchador,
Oh,
kind of
yeah, I
our
saw that.
unofficial bar. They're looking for vendors because they're going to get back in the first Friday game. And I said there's no better person to talk to than Foxy Roxy, who does
Nice.
that for Bang Bang, and she already helped Tony,
Nice.
Jesse's lead bartender, get some vendors in, and so she was super grateful, and I'm super grateful to you. I love us all building our own little community. Like I said, El Luchador is like our unofficial bar of Just Another Friday Night because they were the first bar we ever interviewed and the only bar we've ever interviewed. So great times there.
Yeah, so Roxanne, no, keep plugging away.
Yeah.
Joe says naughty or nice. Sounds bueno.
Yeah. You need to watch Ted Lasso, Roxy, so you can hear about Sexy Christmas. They talk about Sexy Christmas on there.
And then Ray says, yeah, that was fun. A CM and AA. I'll definitely love to go with y'all. Shoot, maybe I'll drag your ass in the ring, Charlie, CM, and send you off the top rope.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Ray, there's not just going to be one ring. There's going to be 2 rings. So you can flip CM all over the place. As long as
you can try. I'm getting. I don't weigh what I used to no more, Ray. So
every time you do that, CM will throw stickers into the crowd.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. What else here?
And then Roxanne says, yeah, I sent her like 7 vendors.
Very
Damn.
nice, Rox. Very nice. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate
Roxanne,
that.
You're fucking awesome at what you do.
Mm-hmm. I love when someone reaches out and we're able to help, and then they think, man, you know who helped out? Just Another Friday Night. Those Friday Nighters and the Friday Night Faithful. So we appreciate that. But yeah, guys, go out to the Bang Bang Bar for Roxanne's event.
And that's going to be Sunday at the Bang Bang Bar. It's called the Naughty or Nice Holiday Market from 12 p.m.
And let me tell you, AA, they got some delicious cocktails, man.
Okay.
Roxy, drop the name of that one we had with the jalapenos floating in it. Oh, AA.
I had a jalapeno drink before.
This was freaking good, dude. They put like a tahini type candy on the top, and I was like, John said he didn't like it because he don't like spicy, but he bought me one.
I didn't like it in the drink. I didn't like the spicy in the drink. I was like, wow.
I was like, this drink is dangerous because I would just be like, it was good.
Ray says, LOL, CM, I'm definitely going to go. Do they sell tickets at the door?
No need for tickets,
just
brother.
Come on in and come to our table.
Yeah, bring your daughter if you want, man. There's stores in there for her to look at too. I can walk around, come visit, then come back, or probably better come solo because then you can sit and like shoot the shit with us or whatever. But
let me see. Roxanne says it was called the Pica Piña.
Pica Piña, yeah, that's really good.
It was delicious,
very delicious, yeah. And Roxanne so fun at Bang Bang Bar because you get a myriad of vendors. In fact, Alfred from Collector's Cove Corpse, his girlfriend often is a vendor out at those. She she makes some of her own jewelry, and I just saw him this past weekend because he hooked us up with some stuff too. We bought some stuff from him.
Fucking Joe. He goes, for guys that don't like Batman, I think this is gonna be show 4 or 5.
Well, you know what? We get accused of that, and we get told we're a DC show. I'm like, where is all this coming from? But all right. And we specifically said we're ending the month Marvel heavy, so we're like, we got to throw a little bit of the other guys in there or whatever. I don't know where this shit comes from, man. We get fucking language with these things. So, what else?
Good, Joe. You're good, Joe. Ray says, badass. I'll be there. Awesome, Ray. Again, it's January 15th. So remember, not this Saturday, January 15th. Yeah.
And this is Saturday. Come hang out like either between noon and 6. You can get 1 hour in there. You know what I mean? Pick me up some Chick-fil-A at the food court. Come on down. I'll eat the nuggets. I dunk them. I'm a dunker.
You know what? You can be on our show as long as he feeds him.
There you go.
That's all he's asking for the price.
Feed me more.
Get him food. Get him drinks. And you can sit at our table.
Right now, I'm going to go ahead right now. I'll call out Ryback right now. Ryback, if you're out there listening to this show, I'll see you at WrestleFest. And I'm challenging you to a match in the ring at WrestleFest right now. I don't want to fight Ryback. It'll hurt me. No. Don't let it hurt me. He hurts everyone.
Joe says CM's hand motions to his mouth.
Oh, was it like this? Shit.
And then
corn dogs are delicious. Fuck you, Joe.
And then Red says, good one, Joe.
Jesus, I can't win with these guys. Mine always in the gutter.
And then Joe, another smart ass remarks, maybe by Batman show 10 I can get on with y'all.
We keep saying we're not going to talk about it.
So we're going to have an episode where it's the best Batmans of all time. Then the next one's going to be the best Jokers of all time.
I like it.
Then it was going to be like who's the best Batman writer. So
who is it who can actually beat Batman? Who can't beat Batman?
What if Smallville was Batman? So.
I thought we were doing a lot of Superman shows. Actually,
I thought so too. I thought we were sucking Superman's dick.
Yeah, and the Punisher. I wanted to do another Punisher episode.
Too.
I was like, we have a lot of Punisher episodes.
Punisher too. We're Punisher heavy here.
What are you gonna do, right?
But no one seems to remember that though. So,
no one remembers that. We're the DC Batman show. Apparently, we are the new Batman on Batman. Here we are.
And guys, remember real quick, this weekend at Charters Village. Saturday, because I'm going to be going Saturday after I get off work. Tyler Mane is going to be here.
Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie.
Rob Zombie, Michael Myers. So
that's right. That's right.
He'll be at there, and then the actor, I forget his name, but the actor who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, the sequel to the original.
Oh,
Texas
cool.
Chainsaw. Okay, so he'll be there, and then Sunday, Felissa Rose is going to be back. She played Angela in Sleepaway Camp, classic horror movie.
She's only there Sunday.
Okay. And then, again, I forget his name. I'm sorry, but the guy who plays Officer Doofy will be there Sunday, too, with her. So.
Very nice. I want to go Sunday and see Felissa Rose.
I want to get a picture of Tyler Mane because he's 6'8".
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to see what a real...
And he did wrestle, right? They said he did
wrestle. Yeah. He was actually partners with Kevin Nash.
See that? See, guys, what we
WCW.
said? He didn't go anywhere in the wrestling world, but, look, then he became Sabretooth, what I mean? So.
And then he did, apparently, that show on Netflix, with Jupiter or something.
Oh, yeah.
He was the main bad guy. Yeah, something like that. And then he played Ajax, if you guys remember from Troy, when he has that big battle with Hector.
Nice.
So I'm a big fan of Troy. So
yes, I love that one also. Yeah, that's right.
A few more comments real quick. Joe says we got to do one before the movie releases. Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'd love that. I'd love that.
Roxanne says, remember when I got scared of Texas Chainsaw 2? Yeah, I was like, it was myself, my brother, and Roxanne and John. This movie sucked. Texas Chainsaw Part 2 sucks. It sucked bad. And there was one part, it was one of those fucking scary moments, and she screamed and hopped. And
man, I wish I would have been there for that. I've never seen Roxanne scared of any horror movie.
That's a horrible, horrible horror movie. Dennis Hopper's in there, so...
So it can't be that bad, right?
And then Roxanne comes in with the save. She says Dave Sheridan plays Doofy. He is also awesome. Yeah, Roxanne.
Thank you, Rox.
Handle him too that one time.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, Rox, you were there, like kind of helping out that one time. Rox, let's go see Felissa Rose on Sunday.
And she helped her too.
Let me know. So, yeah, I remember my dad commenting on her.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then Joe says that's what wrestlers should look like, not like my pizza guy.
More of that WWE Kool-Aid, man. Joe, heavy on that.
The Land of the Giants.
All right, guys. Great comments. We appreciate being here.
Felissa, Roxanne.
We hope that you guys are going to stick around for the rest of this show. It's going to be a fun one. I feel like everyone that's sitting in here right now is going to have something to say and talk about regarding this. So without further ado, guys, I think let's get into it. This is something that me and Double A have kind of talked about for a while.
Yeah.
Where we didn't really know how to approach it, but I think that we know how to now. Okay, guys. We appreciate all those great comments. Again, if you ever want to hear everything that happens in the comment section, except for last episode, which you got to hear thanks to Jerry. But besides that episode, if you want to hear what's in the comment section, go check out our Facebook Live. We go live almost every Friday night, except on sometimes during holiday months like this. We go live on Wednesday or Thursday. Yep. But you can see the full, show there with the comments on Facebook Live. Or we highly suggest instead you go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and see the full show there with all the commenting glory on there. If you're listening to us on audio, we typically cut this part out, but last episode you got that part because our audio was jacked and Jerry saved our butts. But tonight we want to talk about something that's near and dear to our hearts. We had kind of tossed the idea of the episode around.
Joe.
Mm-hmm. We tossed the idea of the episode around, but we weren't sure when or how we were going to do it because it's a large scope show.
Yes, it is.
And we can never touch on it all, but that's why we want you, the Friday Night Faithful, the Friday Nighters, to chime in and tell us what parts you loved. If you were a kid in the 90s, though, there was no way you did. You saw Batman 89, and then you were like, I want more Batman. And what did Warner Brothers give us? They gave us Batman the Animated Series.
what many people consider either number one, number two greatest cartoon, depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Usually it's The Simpsons, but it's always Simpsons or Batman. Usually what I always hear.
When I heard this was going to come out in full on Blu-ray, like, I was salivating. I wanted to get it. You know what I mean? I still have not got it, but I would still get it.
Oh man, when it came on HBO Max,
oh, that's
I was like,
the best.
oh man, I'm in heaven.
Yeah. I started marking my episodes that I wanted to rewatch. And one of the things I want to say about this Double A that I think that you're going to 100% agree with. You and I and you know, guys like Joe, Jerry, we've had talks about sometimes stuff doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
This 100% holds
Big
up.
time.
I would show this to my nephew. I would watch these on my own. I would rewatch the entire run. I went through a few in the last couple of days in preparation for this episode, and I was like, damn, this is still very good. Mm-hmm. 22 minutes of storytelling, and you get a lot of story.
Yes.
I would say I got an education on Batman. I mean, like, I read very few Batman comics as a kid.
I learned all my Batman stuff was from this series.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely taught you more than a thing or two. And here's a cool thing: if you weren't a comic book guy that actually sat around and read comic books, you could watch this cartoon like most kids at that time, your age, and also my age, were watching. So that was a big gap. That was about a 5-year gap between us. But those kids and all that age were watching. It's
show that I got. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to go into his rogue gallery, and I started buying Ra's al Ghul comics, Mr. Freeze comics, Bane comics, Scarecrow comics. I started looking for those comics because of this animated series.
Yeah. Because you got educated on who they were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Probably our only exposure maybe to Batman before that was what? Super Friends.
Yeah.
The movie, the 89 movie,
and
the one
West,
movie.
The Adam West one.
And the Adam West one, where you had guys like, you know, Egghead, Vincent Price's Egghead.
But you know what? Still, it was kind of like the movie, the Adam West movie. It really only focused on Riddler, Joker, Catwoman, Penguin. Mm-hmm. Okay, Super Friends, Joker. You know, who else would they have?
Maybe Scarecrow sometimes.
Maybe Scarecrow, but still, you didn't get like characters like Clayface.
No,
you didn't get characters like this version of Mr. Freeze.
No, nothing was like that.
Ra's al Ghul wouldn't even came out in any of the cartoons. Talia wouldn't really come out. Two-Face not really coming out in any of these cartoons past or prior.
And it was like fleshing it out too. Like they were like,
time.
oh, we're gonna like kind of. And again, it's like it sounds weird because it's kind of a lost art now, right? To get 22 minutes and like get a full story.
Yeah, it really is. People need like that whole hour. Just to even scratch the surface.
Right.
You know, these guys got you into it just by 22 minutes. Like, wow, that was a badass episode.
And I didn't feel cheated. I didn't feel like... It was like, imagine eating the perfect size meal where it's like you're not hungry anymore, you're not full, but it was like just right. You know what I mean? That's how this was. Or like the perfect buzz. It's like I'm not drunk, you know what I mean? But I'm not sober. I'm feeling great. Yeah. Like that, it did that.
Yeah.
And it did it over and over and over. It won Emmys, right?
It won a lot of Emmys for like Robin's Reckoning, Heart of Ice. You know, it won a lot of stuff. It won a lot of critical acclaim, everything.
How about the people that it pushed? Well, number one, it brings back a huge guy from, you know, the 80s and the 70s in Mr. Luke Skywalker himself and gives him this series
gives him like a whole new fan base.
Yep.
Besides the Star Wars stuff. Now he's in the Batman universe.
This is like what Tarantino did for John Travolta with Pulp Fiction. It's like Mark Hamill gets a second life all off of this.
Or since like 92 to now, he still voices the Joker.
There's a lot of people that would say that they like of his roles Joker over Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And it's easy to see. In the episodes I watched where he wasn't even the primary villain, he was just in an ensemble of villains. Yeah. He was still absolutely fantastic. And he is regarded, as I said in the intro, the write-up, as, if not the best Joker, definitely one of the best.
He's always up there.
People put him head-to-head with Ledger, head-to-head with you know, Phoenix, you know, and this has been for years. This has been since the 90s. Mind you,
this is a PG cartoon. This is not a hard rated R cartoon. I mean, this is just him. That's how good he is with the supply. You know, that he can do that with a PG. Those guys have to do it with like a PG-13 or rated R. Yeah. That makes them like, oh, that's why his Joker was really good.
Right.
Mark Hamill had 22 minutes, you know, 10 episodes, no matter, I don't know how many episodes he was actually in, but You know, I mean,
He's chewing that scenery though,
Yeah.
man, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, for
for people to say that he's the best Joker, I mean, that says a lot.
and it comes up a lot. You
Yeah.
hear it quite a
Yeah.
bit. In fact, you know, we did our show last week with Jerry. We talked about how Skeletor was a little too Jokerish, or
Yeah.
whatever, which was
Yeah.
bad for Skeletor. But the episodes that I was watching recently, it was like it was not bad for Joker. It was
No,
perfect.
I mean,
was like,
I freaked out when I learned it was Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow.
yeah, it wasn't one of those things we knew like maybe while we were
No.
watching it. We didn't learn it till later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was very cool. And of course, you know, as we always say on this show, you know, every hero needs a great villain, which obviously you have Mark Hamill's Joker, but then we get introduced to probably the consummate voice of Batman.
Ooh,
I have heard people say this. I think Joe has said this, and I'm sure you feel the same. When you read comics now, Batman's
I
in,
hear
you hear
Kevin
Kevin Conroy,
Yes.
the great, iconic Kevin Conroy.
And did a great job of both Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah.
Switching of the voices, everything.
Have you met him? He's been to cons we've been at.
No, I haven't. And he always has such a super long line.
Super long line.
Always.
I think it was at one of
Always.
the Alamo cities. I saw him get up on the table. I was walking by. He was up on the table, and he did the
line,
he did the
right?
voice. You
Yes.
know, I am vengeance. I am
Yes.
the night. And I was like, I got full of goosebumps.
I did
Like
too.
I was like, holy shit, that is fucking rad.
I
Like
mean, that guy is a man. He is Batman for life.
Mhm.
That man is always going to do Batman. And if he doesn't do Batman, we get pissed off.
yeah.
I mean, we
I
get
love that-
majorly pissed off.
I love that he got his live action shot.
Yeah.
With the
And that's awesome, too. He deserved it.
Infinite
you
Crisis.
know?
He did deserve it.
He
Yeah, and they kind
deserved
of made
it.
him Kingdom Come-ish too, which was
Kingdom
very
Come.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so say what you will from Just Another Friday Night about how we feel about Batman, because we do have a lot to say about. It's mainly comic book Batman and how DC has kind of just like,
He can be anybody. He
They-
can even be Darkseid.
yeah, they've lazily written Batman out of every situation, which is like bad to us. We're like, that's not good. Like, we have Reed Richards, we've got Tony Stark, we've got Peter Parker, we've got, you know, Bruce Banner. You guys only have Batman, and
But he's
it's
all of them wrapped in one.
yeah, and it makes them like they've almost overpowered him over Superman. You
Yeah.
know, where it's like whatever
Yeah,
situation
like there's
it
a
is.
way. Like it's like now Batman has a way to beat Superman. It's like no, you don't.
No, you don't. Yeah, yeah. So that's bad for them. Now, this version of Batman and Bruce Wayne is lovely.
It does it just right.
he's
He's
just
just
right.
a man
Yeah.
fighting. You know, not super powered villains.
And you
You
know
know-
what? I sometimes feel like I don't get a lot of Double A is like the detective Batman, but you do in this.
You get a
lot
whole
of
lot
the
of it.
detective
Yes.
Batman, which is very,
Yes.
very cool. I'm like, okay, like he does a lot of like setting people up and like, you know, using masks and
Yep.
like, you know, investigating.
Like the Riddler episodes, I think are the best because
Okay.
he does that. That's
Mm.
where like his full detective skills and his genius comes into
Mhm.
play when he's figuring out the Riddler's problems. You know,
Yes.
the Joker. You know, they always make that really hard.
Right.
You know, because you don't know what the Joker's going to do.
Yes.
You know, so it's interesting. Or he uses his smarts like with Mad Hatter
Mm-hmm.
when he does some crap to him. You know, that's where his smarts come out. You know,
Yeah.
So
And he's also too like got this like big heart where it's like he doesn't want to necessarily like you know there's just situations like, you know, in Tiger, you know, with the Tigress, the guy that
Yeah.
you know, that kind of like an Island of Dr. Moreau type episode. You know, he realizes like, hey, this guy's like an experiment or whatever, and even though they fought and all that, he's like, hey man, this stuff's like inhumane or whatever. You know, he wants to help. You know what I mean? You know, but you know, there's that. You know, where it's not just like you guys are like always like, you know, these villains that I like hate or whatever. You know.
There's like one episode too where like he gets amnesia while he's on patrol or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like living like as a homeless man.
Oh, interesting.
You know,
okay.
it's interesting because he disguised himself too, like right before that. So
Yeah.
he has like white hair and shit like that. So no one recognizes him like as Bruce Wayne. you know?
Interesting. Interesting.
So it's a really
That's a cool. I gotta go
there's some
check
cool
that one out.
ones. Yeah.
And that's what I love is that you can kind of say that you can say, hey, I want to go like dive into like 2 or 3 episodes, and it's like you haven't even killed like 2 hours. You're just
Oh, you
like they're
haven't.
so quick. Paul Dini is one of the
man.
most
Legend in DC.
wonderful writers
Yeah.
ever. Wrote a lot. I think of the episodes. If not, I don't know if it's all of them, or but I'm definitely a huge bulk of
His
them.
biggest claim to fame besides his cartoon is introducing Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, yeah, the creation of Harley Quinn was not in comics before
Nope.
this cartoon, and I didn't
Nope.
know that. I learned that later on. You know what I mean? And how about that? One of the most iconic female characters
Man.
of all time.
Not just female characters, just
Characters,
characters of
yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I can't believe how much she exploded in popularity.
Look at her with the multiple movies, and we've yet to get the
Multiple
movie that's
movies.
just the Harley Quinn movie. But I mean, you've got all these other little offshoots.
I flipped when Suicide Squad, when they act that little clip of the Alex Ross drawing when she was actually in the full uniform.
Yeah, very
classic
badass.
uniform. I was like, oh,
Very
I want to
badass.
see that Harley Quinn outfit.
Yeah.
You know, no more of the shorts, the hammer. I want
Sure.
to see her in the Harley Quinn outfit.
And she kills it in the cartoon. I mean, you know, she's great. You know, and again, I'm at a loss for the voice actress's name, but she's amazing as that character.
Yeah,
That
she
character
is.
shines through big time.
And what a great origin story they gave her too. She was a damn doctor
Mhm.
treating the Joker.
And
You
how
know,
warped
like-
he is that he can turn her
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know, yeah.
Terrible.
Uh,
but really, really great backstory on her. You know?
And Bruce Timm, I believe most of the art is kind of where you
Yes,
get that kind of
yes.
art style. I have a Vampirella that's drawn in his style,
Yes,
which I
yes, you
love
do,
because it
yeah.
looks like, you know, Batman the Animated Series with the girls with the round cheeks and the short chins, and then the guys with the big chins. But it's so cool because when they did the Superman afterwards, it was like it looked like that. I was like, okay, it was meant to
And
be.
that's why I love
the
that Superman series
of it.
too.
Yeah,
I love that series too because of that. So
Totally. And so this is, like you said, Double A. You get a lot of exposure to the Rogues Gallery.
like I said, I mean, I really delve into those characters. I really dug them a lot. I was like, wow, Batman has a really good rogues gallery. You know, it's not just Joker.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not just Penguin.
Not just Penguin.
Clayface. Golly, what a great stuff that he was. Mr.
One of my
Freeze.
favorites. Yeah.
Great
and
stuff
this
there.
version, this version of animated series, Mr. Freeze, correct me if I'm wrong, Double A, but like it changed the pace of the character.
It did. So he was at one point almost not existent anymore in the Batman comics. Once that episode got so popular and everybody was just raving about that episode, they were like, okay, let's reintroduce Mr. Freeze again, but we're going with the Batman animated series. It's almost
Yeah.
like that was his first appearance all over again, almost.
Yeah, like we
Was
love
the
that
animated
origin.
series,
That's going to
you
be
know?
your like accepted origin.
and that was it. I mean, it was so popular that they even put him in the Batman and Robin movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's probably the worst received Batman movie, but still, it was how highly popular he was that they were like,
Yeah.
let's put Mr. Freeze in the movie.
I have heard praise for Arnold's performance when he's
The
not
suit
like
looks
in the
good.
suit and stuff like that. There's certain scenes.
Yeah, there's
where
that
he
scene where
really-
he's watching Nora,
Mhm.
and the tear comes out. I was
Yeah.
like, man, they almost got it right
They
there.
almost got it
almost
right.
fucking
Yeah.
got it.
So that was very,
You know?
very cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched that episode in preparation for this. It's like episode 4,
Yeah.
Heart of Ice.
And man, it was just it had so many people raving about it. It was like, wow, Mr. Freeze is such a badass.
Mhm.
You felt sympathy
Yes.
for the bad guy.
I thought Batman
know?
was wrong. And this is the Batman that I like a lot. I was like, oh man, like you're kind of fucked up. Like that's you did him dirty. You know what I mean? Like, it was like he just wanted his revenge, whatever. Like you're out for vengeance,
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
it's really hard to hate this Batman, and it's really hard to hate this Bruce Wayne. I think it's without question. Am I right, Double A? But like we often talk about who balances them best.
Yeah.
And when you ask yourself about the live action ones, you could have a whole debate on that. Which live action is a good combination of Bruce Wayne and Batman? I know what my answer is, but if you were going to look at all the Batmans, it's without hands down, it's this one. This Kevin Conroy's a great Bruce Wayne, and he's a fantastic Batman. It's like this is the perfect balance of the two. Because he does a lot of Bruce Wayne shit, right? There's a lot of things where Bruce Wayne is doing stuff.
You actually get to see like Wayne Foundation, the Wayne
Mhm.
Tower, everything. That's where I first knew about Lucius Fox.
Yes.
And I was so excited when Christopher Nolan was putting that character in the movies.
Yeah.
And it was because of the cartoon that I was excited about Lucius Fox coming into the live action.
Yeah.
So
A Wonderful Alfred. This
Great
Alfred is
Alfred.
fantastic.
Great
He's, again, we've been blessed, I think, to
that's
never
what
have a
we
bad
found out,
Alfred.
too, about like he was like a British sass
Mhm.
in
That's
one
right.
of the episodes.
That's
We
right.
delve into his origin story.
Which is very, very cool,
yeah, I was
too.
like, holy cow! Like maybe that's why they fucking hired Alfred.
How do you feel about this Jim Gordon?
I like this Jim Gordon a lot. I became a huge fan of Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
This one, and I was glad again when Nolan did it and it was kind of close to this one.
That one. Yeah, I agree. I like this one a lot.
Because you never really care for Gordon too much in the Keaton movies.
Right.
Or the Kilmer one, or the Clooney one. You really don't.
No, even though it was the same Gordon.
It was the same guy.
Gordon
it was
throughout
the same guy, but it was like he didn't get that feeling like he did with this one. And I think that's why they got the Gary Oldman to do it. You know,
and then you start to care about Gordon.
Yeah.
It's funny in the other ones you're talking about, you know, the Keaton and the Kilmer and the Clooney one. That Gordon reminds me kind of the Gordon from the Adam West series, where it's like, oh, you're just like an ancillary character.
Yeah, no, here he was super important. You know, a close ally of Batman, which Batman does not have a whole lot of.
Yeah, that family.
He wholly trusts Jim Gordon. He goes to him. He talks to him. You know, he seeks advice from him. So it was really cool to see that relationship kind of form and kind of see what it's supposed to look like. You know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And there's just so many notes and beats throughout the show. Some of them I kind of don't like, where Batman's a little bit like, kind of makes me look like an inept cop, you know what I mean? But again, it's kind of part of the charm of those two. But yeah, great Gordon. So like the supporting cast is great. We get Robin,
and I was gonna say, he made me love Robin.
Yeah,
loved how they changed the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Love the new outfit. You know,
they gave him like the longer tights,
and he was cool. Good too.
He was a badass. Yeah,
he was smart on his own. Mm-hmm. He was a very capable fighter. He's not where he is at Nightwing level here, but very capable fighter.
Yes,
very smart. You know, brings a lot of lightheartedness to the dynamic. I like when he jokes with him when they're in full gear already. You know, because Bruce is like full Batman. When he's in a Batman outfit, he's full Batman. And you know, Robin's still here and there, like. Still brings out, you know, the humor every now and then. You know, so
I love that too. It's such a great not even necessarily father-son relationship, but like, you know, brotherhood. It's almost like, you know, Dick feels like, hey man, we're the only ones doing this. I have no one to talk about this with but you.
Yeah.
Like I can't crack jokes with about.
And that's
this,
why it's so hard, like seeing like Robin's reckoning. You know, when he's trying to go after a killer of his family, and you know Bruce wants him. You know, he wants to protect him so bad because he's like, I don't want you to go overboard with this guy. You know, you're better than that. You know? And I love that kind of episode. I love how it shows like Bruce cares about, you know, Dick Grayson. He cares about him.
This
he took
one,
him in.
I feel like this version does.
He took him in. He trained him. You know, so you know he means a lot to him. He means a lot to Bruce. You know, it's his partner. It's like you said.
Right.
Who else are you going to talk to about this kind of stuff with? You know,
there's a lot of versions of Batman that I don't like, where I feel as though he's a dad that puts his kids in danger. That I don't like about him, but not in
it's
this.
It's always
in
kind
this,
of weird.
It's a line.
Like how he takes them like as kids and kind of like, here, let's go after these thugs. You know?
There's scenes, there's scenes, and they do it so well in this show where Joker appears, and it's like we've already got to know the Joker in the show, but they just draw him like in shadow, or whatever, and you just see that yellow grin, and you kind of get like a chill. Like I'm like, fuck.
You do, because it's kind of like, man, Joker's like one of those people where you have to be mentally ready for this dude.
Yeah. You
just don't know what he's going to fucking do.
A good dad would never put your kids in that mix. And there is times he tries to keep them separate from certain stuff. But I'm like, dude, you've already got him involved. You can't not keep him out now.
And
because
I think
he wants to
did
protect
try
you
to keep him out. I think they kind of show, but then he stumbles upon the Bat Cave and everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I still doesn't give him a right to train him and all that. Now, obviously, though, Dick Grayson does have that background, the circus background. So he's very agile, very good on his feet, you know. So, I don't know. Maybe Bruce was like, you know what? Maybe this might actually work. I could actually use the backup, you know, here and there. But
yeah, I think, too, this one did not play so heavily on, like, that he's this, you know, he is the Caped Crusader, but, you know, think about that Crusader, like where it's like there's nothing beyond the mission, you know the war on crime and all that.
But you know what, though, he does allow kind of Dick to have his own life. He's going to college. In certain episodes, you see him where he's in college. He wants him to graduate. You know, he does want him to do good for him. So he wants him to have a life. Because there's not a whole lot of episodes where there is Robin. There's a few that without him. Without him, you know, he's not there. And I'm, you know, like, assuming that Bruce is like, oh, you know what, I focus on that. I'll patrol. It's a slow night.
Sure.
You know, I'll patrol the area. You just focus on your studies. You know?
Yeah. And there's times where I think Robin, you know, wants to be involved.
And I'm sure when he can, he's like, well, I'm sure when he's there, he's like, hey, you know, I can I have time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm doing good. You know,
Yeah.
I have time.
Totally. I would say this is the one that I feel is maybe the most compassionate towards that situation.
Big time.
Because that adopted family can sometimes, I feel like,
Man.
I'm like, these are just your pawns in your
Yeah.
endless crusade. You know what I mean? At least in the comic book version, sometimes where I really feel like that, and I'm like, you know, that's the version of him I don't like.
It's kind of like,
you know?
it's almost like, you know, in the comic book world, after Jason Todd dies, that's where he kind of gets like really,
realizes
that
realization.
kind of stuff.
But it doesn't stop though. He still recruits a new.
He still gets Tim.
You know?
Yeah, he still gets Tim. And then even in the future, he gets Carrie.
Yeah. Let's talk about one of the episodes you had me watch, Double A,
Okay.
which is where the strange thing, the strange thing about Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
We get the doctor there, Doctor
Hugo
Strange,
Strange.
Hugo Strange, the
Hugo
different Doctor
Strange.
Strange, the DC Doctor Strange.
Yeah, so it's really cool. The episode kind of starts off, this, you know, high-powered woman kind of like is being, it looks like blackmail for a videotape.
She's a judge, yeah.
Yeah, a judge, a very close friend of Bruce that we find out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what happens to her, but she
pretty much she's
gets
trying to
into
get the
like-
tape back
yeah.
from these thugs who are trying to extort her for the money or whatever, and then they just keep upping the price. So she tries to. They kind of lose. Batman shows up. The tape ends up like on a ledge, and she tries to like go out on the ledge and get it like off a bridge, and endangers herself, and thus lets the criminals
and
get
then
away.
so Bruce starts like, he's like, what the hell made her do like all that kind of stuff? She's like a great judge, top-notch judge. You know, Bruce knows her. He's like, man, well, let me see where she went. He starts looking her up. She went to like this spa kind of retreat, you know, to kind of reduce stress, blah blah blah. We find out that this doctor is very shady doctor.
Hugo Strange.
He invites like a lot of the elite, I guess you would say, of Gotham or anywhere in the world to come to this retreat, and then he starts kind of like psychoanalyzing them. Well, he has this machine that kind of somehow can go into your brain, and you can actually see the images.
Thoughts. Yeah.
And he blackmails people on that videotape. He's like, I got a videotape of you doing this, you know, and unless you give me the money, it's going to be shown.
I'm
and
gonna show
your
it.
life's going to be ruined.
Yeah.
You know?
And the judge had like caused like a huge fire
When she was a little girl.
accidentally. Yeah. And so that was her thing, whatever. But obviously, when he looks in Bruce's mind, he sees, you know, the
Batman,
the Batman stuff. So, what I love about this episode is that, like, you know, this, you know, dickhead Strange, Hugo Strange, he's like, oh, I'm gonna sell this to the villains or whatever. But I love how they show up and they're like super villainy. So it's like you get Joker, Two-Face, and Penguin.
And Penguin,
right? Yeah, and I mean, I'm just like. He says that at one point too. He's like, "Why would I ever get in business with y'all?" I'm like, "Yeah,
you idiot!
These are like the most crazed motherfuckers there is." But there's a great part where like they take off on this plane, and they let Joker fly. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if I'm Two-Face and Penguin, I'm like, well, why the fuck are we letting you fly? Like,
so in the history of the stuff, Penguin and Joker always seem to be pretty tight.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking tight.
Yeah.
And then Two-Face, well, he's schizophrenic. So, I mean, he's probably just as bad as a Joker.
Right. It's just like half of him is saying it's okay, half of him is saying
all right.
it's not.
It's a Joker. He knows how to fly.
Right. And he's dressed up in like the fake captain outfit and all that. And I'm just like, holy shit. And of course he crashes the plane. But I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, why would you let this motherfucker fly? Again. And then there's that great scene too where the bellhop is getting his luggage and he drops the thing of money, and you kind of like you could tell the guy is scared, like it's like because Joker's got, you know, he's the Joker, that rep, you know what I mean, super psycho, and it does a great job of making you feel that way where you're like, oh, he's really rightfully afraid, even though he jokes a lot and he does do a lot of hammy stuff. You still, there's always that aura of danger there about him, you know what I mean? And how they, like I said, they give him the yellow teeth, and it's like it just all fits so well.
Well, even
know?
in the cartoon, he has done some bad stuff, you know. When he does release the gas or toxins or something, people going, I don't know, they die or not,
right?
You know,
right?
They're like stuck with a smile on their face.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of like it doesn't really say
like, are they
anything.
Okay or not?
Yeah, they don't come back to it. The stuff with Harley, he like knocks her around quite a bit. Like you know, he's like not shy about that. You know, so very strong character. Also, obviously the Joker. I mean, when isn't he? But you still need the
But
right
still,
person
what
to
a
do the
great
job.
episode to even introduce like that character, right?
Yeah, the Hugo
Dr.
Strange.
Hugo Strange,
Hugo Strange,
right?
yeah.
And I thought it was a fun episode. It's a real fun episode. And,
Especially the end, right? Where you get to see Batman and Bruce Wayne in the same scene. And you're like, how'd they do that?
Yeah, and then, you know, again, it shows like Robin's cleverness,
yes.
too, you know? So.
Yeah, mimicking the voice and
Yeah.
all that. So
Yeah.
it does a great job of stuff like that. And again, this cartoon comes like, you know, like Batman after 89 was like I think everybody,
Huge.
every kid,
Huge.
every boy
Yeah.
was a Batman fan, and probably a lot of girls too. You know, so I guess they figured we got to ride this wave, and you're thinking you're not going to maybe strike gold twice, but they definitely did because you know.
And then, you know, the movie came out too at the same time, so the sequel, you know, so that probably
Right.
helped too, you know.
Yeah, you're writing that, and there was a lot of things about this cartoon that I know people talk about where it's kind of like what time frame is it? Because some of the cars
It's weird
like,
because the cars are
you know?
from the 50s
Yeah.
or 40s from that, you know, Batman's era, and then but they have like
modern tech.
the modern technology.
Yeah. Like one of the things I noticed too a lot is that like in a lot of some of the episodes, you know, Bruce Wayne wears a hat. Like,
Yeah.
you know, men didn't really
Yeah.
wear hats
Yeah.
in the 90s. I mean, like that's definitely not
The
like
trench coats, the
yeah,
jackets.
yeah. So it's very like this like kind of, you know, noir, you
Yep.
know, gothic
Yep.
environment of Gotham,
Which I liked.
I love
I
it
loved
too.
it.
It works. It really works with all of that, you know. So that added to it the big feel of it. You know what I mean? So I feel like it definitely borrowed from Tim Burton. They had the Danny Elfman theme, which was iconic. You know what I mean? So they kept that.
Even the car, it kind of looked like when like Keaton has the shield up.
Yes,
It looks
looked
like that Batmobile.
Yeah. And that iconic scene where the lightning flashes and we
Yep.
see that it's Batman at the beginning of the opening, which, you know, every kid probably remember that opening over and over
I do.
again. Yeah, me too. But that was just like, I remember that I've seen so many shirts redone where they put somebody else in there with like on the top of the building with the lightning strike. And you're like, you know, right away, like it's like the Batman, but they put whoever there. It looks really cool. So yeah, man, I totally love it. You know, that's like the main stuff. But I think after this next break, what do you think, Dylan? We'll get into a couple of our favorite episodes.
Yeah.
We want to hear what you guys' favorite episodes are. What was it about Batman the Animated Series that set it aside from everything else? Excuse me, made you want to like watch it? Did you watch it? Did you not watch it? If you didn't watch it, were you hearing other people talk about it? And if you did you have favorite episodes? Were there things you remember? I always say, my memory is complete shit. Like I cannot remember anything. But as I would barely see a thumbnail for this going through.
And then you'd be like,
I'd be like,
the
I
flood will
remember
come
that
back.
one. Yeah, and there were so many that I didn't rewatch for this episode, but that I was like, I will go back and rewatch these. Like, you know, the Gray Ghost, the Clock King.
I can't wait to dig into.
Yeah,
this.
some of the later the other episodes I didn't get to that you sent me.
Yeah.
But I went through my own list right away, which, you know, I'll just bring it up a little bit right here before we get into it. But like I watched, like I know I said it earlier, but Tiger, that's been one of my favorites. Feats of Clay, which is like my first introduction to Clayface, who I thought was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, what a crazy character. Of course, Heart of Ice, probably a favorite of like everyone, and probably my all-time favorite episode. But I was a huge fan of the Ninja, you know what I mean? Which I never knew that about, man. Yeah,
I love those two episodes.
Kyoto Kai.
Loved them.
Yeah,
Loved
and they
them.
were like not like a part 1 and part 2, but they were separate. But it was a very, very great story. That's Night of the Ninja, and then Day of the Samurai. So interesting, right?
Yes.
Night of the Ninja, Day of the Samurai, and they came like far apart.
They did,
you know.
Yes,
and that first season is crazy because it's like 65 episodes, right?
Yeah.
And then season 2, I think it's only like 20, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit about season 3,
new adventures,
and the differences there. But we'll get more into that when we come back. In the meantime, we're going to check out your comments, guys. We want to hear what you have to say regarding Batman the Animated Series, and we want to hear your thoughts and who your favorites were. All right, Friday Nighters, we're still here with you. We're going to let this audio load on up. And in the meantime, we'll take a look at some comments here from you, our Friday Night Faithful, talking all about Batman the Animated Series with us because we just think that it's so freaking awesome. You know what I mean? Help me out here. There we go. Okay.
And Joe goes, and now the main event. And then Aaron says, hey, Doofy, smell my fingers.
Hey,
Aaron
nice.
in the house.
What's up, Aaron B?
There, but, what's up, Aaron?
Yeah, Doofy's going to be at Trader's Village this weekend.
Yep, Sunday. Joe says, Let's watch this. Me go put on my Batman shirt.
There you go. Go put on that Batman shirt, Joe.
That's why I have to buy the DCU app. Yeah, I forgot about that before HBO Max absorbed it.
They were doing their own app thing, yeah.
Joe goes, I don't know how many episodes I've told Chuck to go watch.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. And there's some that I don't remember, so it was good that I did go watch those.
Show was almost started because they wanted to sell toys and it has something for kids because Returns was so dark.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. They're trying to get back into bring it back.
Ray says the storyline in Batman the Animated Series were so great. I definitely want to buy that series.
A must-buy series, man, for sure. One to own.
Joe says, how many people do you know that have played two iconic characters? I mean, it's almost like you have to go like to heavyweights. You have to go like to Stallone, to like Arnold. You know, Mike Myers almost.
And he could be done off of these too. He could just do the con circuit.
Mark Hamill. He has done a Star Wars panel, and then he goes to the Batman panel.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I've seen it happen. Him and Kevin Conroy are there, and they just talk it up.
And I wonder if he's ever said, he's probably never gone on record to say, but I wonder which role is more meaningful to him.
One job has given him a job since '92. Yeah. So, I mean.
That's very true. Very true.
Joe says, rumor was Tim Curry was originally cast as the Joker.
I'd heard that. I had heard that. Wow. Man, can you only imagine what those episodes would have been like, you know?
While we're in the season, Christmas with the Joker is an annual watch.
I forgot about that. Christmas with the Joker, yeah.
Great episode. Says the great Paul Dini. He's a big crier like Chuck and I.
Yes, he is. I've heard some episodes Joe let me hear of him being interviewed by Kevin Smith. They were great.
And then I think Joe says Kiko. I don't know.
I think he's talking about Kaylee Cuoco being
Harley,
the current Harley, and her she's fantastic. Yeah. But I just really love that iconic voice from the original animated series. I looked up her name, but I forgot what it was.
Ray says Harley always called Batman Batsy. If I remember, right? Double ACM. Him and Joker. We'll call him Batsy sometime.
Or Bats, you know, they call him Bats. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Mr. Freeze episode makes you cry.
Dude, that one's good.
Then he says that Lucky likes Batman and Robin.
I think he's doing a tag. They're probably trying to get Lucky to pop in here. Yeah, good one.
Then he says, gotta watch the Over the Edge episode.
Yes, I need to see that one. That's one of the ones where I told you, Double A, that Nightwing's in the thumbnail. Okay. So I'm curious about watching that one. I need to catch up. We're going to get into how, you know, we're not as versed on the third season as maybe we should be or would like to be or whatever, you know, so.
Rich says, is this series, is this the series that is on HBO Max? One of my favorites. I'm rewatching and forgot how much I loved it. Yeah.
Yes.
It is the one on HBO Max.
There's a couple of Batman, because there's the Batman also, that series on there.
That's right. But this is the animated series.
Yeah, Batman the animated series.
Right off the bat.
You'll recognize that iconic 90s artwork, Rich. So if you're watching that one, great. And again, like I said, I'm sure you agree with this. If you're still watching it, it holds up. You know what I mean? It does hold up from all that time ago. But Joe did have me watch one episode of the Batman series. It was what he said was the finale, the last episode, and it was really funny. I was like, oh, okay, it was meant to be like a more lighthearted Batman, and so it kind of felt more. The
only spin-off Batman I ever saw was the Batman Beyond.
Okay,
that's like the only spin-off cartoon,
and that's one I've never really seen.
And I think that's good. It's cool because it's Kevin Conroy as an older
that's
Batman,
cool.
Obviously.
Yeah, and the Terry McGinnis character, right? So that's great.
Joe says this is more year one Jim Cornette like. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Get those vibes.
And Yelly in the house, if she still is, she goes Primos.
Primo.
Yelly, love you. I saw Mario the other day.
Nice.
Yeah, finally. Joe says, don't say this version of Batman. And he goes, he loves Robin. He saves him.
Yes, I know. Yeah, Batman, this is the best incarnation of that.
This version of Batman. Batman is everything Robin wants to be. Had Bruce not taken him in, would have done it on his own and died. Is that what you think, Chuck?
I disagree with that. No, that's not what I think. I think that Batman should have been a better dad type character since you keep adopting these kids and then you introduce them to a bunch of fucking psychos. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, but whatever.
Batman sees the kid he wanted to be in Robin. Comic book fans voted for Jason Todd to die. Yeah, we're a bunch of bloodthirsty animals.
Yeah.
some of the best episodes were the ones where you see all the villains together.
Yeah.
That was always special.
You sent me a couple of those, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That was neat to see that. Like, they're all hanging out, you know.
Yeah. Paul Denny says, in his mind, seeing the Joker in public would be like seeing a live tiger in the jungle. You're scared and would really not know what you do.
Absolutely. It would be unnerving. And in fact, watching some of these episodes where he kind of just like pops up, it's like, I'm like, you know, you would be really unnerved.
Yeah.
Like,
and I like how they almost have their own songs, right?
Yeah.
Like they all have their own like little theme song.
Yeah, Joker's got that.
Yeah. And then Two-Face too, he has his own.
Yeah, that was cool when they would introduce him. You'd hear that little intro music.
Epilogue is a Justice League Bat-centric episode, which is great. I think that's where they find out about, like, he cloned himself.
Yeah, that's a great. Joe's had me watch that one a couple of times. I did like it. It's a good episode. Solid.
Yeah, I was like,
solid.
Damn it, it's supposed to be Terry.
Right.
Richard said that's a badass opening when Batman is shown with the lightning strike.
Yeah, great one.
Batman Brave and the Bold AA. Watch the last episode. Okay, that's the one.
That's the one I was thinking. Brave and the Bold. I said the Batman. I know there's a couple of different incarnations.
And then Joe says, I think I gave you this one. Almost Got Him is very good. That's where
you did.
That's where the villains go around telling him, I almost got him.
They're telling their stories. Killer Croc, I throw a rock at him.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell?
They're like, I just love how that's written, and then they.
But how great is the reveal, right?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
which some of the episodes I watched on my own, it was like, he uses that a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he's disguised as somebody. So.
Hey, Rizzo in the house.
Riz, what's up? Man, we talked about you a lot earlier, man. Your great art on our tees, and then of course on Now Watch This is tees, and then. I forgot what else we mentioned.
Three-legged rabbits.
Yes.
That's where his...
the three-legged rabbit.
You can get the Rizzo shirt of us.
And we mentioned Invincible Comics and more as well. Your great Facebook group. So anybody that hasn't checked it out yet, go check it out. You could probably nab some good Christmas stuff there, I think, for a bargain.
Rich says, would this series be good now if it was remade? No, you would lose it. I think.
I think so, and I don't know that if
that's
it
why
needs
that's
to be
why I'm
remade.
hesitant about the X-Men series.
Yeah, that's interesting to see how it does.
It's a different time period where there wasn't really too much, people saying shit, complaining about shit.
It's hard though. Like, it makes me think, like, if you did get the same, writer and artist, maybe, because this Batman animated series didn't really go too far. I mean, it wasn't like.
But now you're starting to think about, what can we put in where you wouldn't even have thought about.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
And no, I don't think it should be remade, Rich. I think it's fine just the way it is.
The good thing is that it holds up as it is. Like, it doesn't really, need to be remade because it's already pretty. I mean, it still is very solid.
And Rizzo says, "Oh shucks, thanks, fellas."
Always, buddy. That's it. Are we good on that, Dylan?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's get to the next little segment here, guys. We want to keep talking Batman the Animated Series with you guys. What were your thoughts, feelings about the show? Were you a fan? Weren't you? If you were, what did you have certain episodes that you liked, loved? Were there certain episodes that you hated, maybe felt like you could have done without?
I think I might have one or two.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
The ones I rewatched, I just really enjoyed. Now it's just made me think more. Like, I was like, oh man. But there were some that I just kind of looked at and skipped over, and I was like, they might have been good, but I just didn't watch it. So, but let's keep talking Batman the Animated Series right now. All right, guys, if you hung out with us during that little blip here on the Friday Night Faithful, being part of the live on Facebook, we read through your comments and talked to you about a little bit about Batman. You guys
have a lot of good opinions.
Yeah, great stuff. Especially Joe from Now Watch This, huge Batman fan,
Rich,
and I think especially of this particular show. But yes, Ray, Rich also, and then Rizzo showed up at the end there. We hope you'll hang out for a little bit, Rizzo, if you can. Obviously, we're not doing our Friday thing tonight because we got stuff going on tomorrow, so a little bit early. But all right, Delay, let's talk a little bit about some of the specific episodes. Okay. You sent me a short list today, which was
great. Just short because you had seen a lot of them, so I was like, let me see maybe if you hadn't seen these yet.
Now
to refresh your memories.
Were some of my favorites, some of your favorites too? Like where you feel like, okay, those are definitely up there.
Yeah, like the Clayface.
Yes.
One. I mean, I fell in love with Clayface right away.
Yeah.
After I saw the episode, I was like, who is this character? How come I never seen him before?
Right.
Not knowing that he has been around for decades prior to this.
Okay.
And finding out, but it was, this certain, I don't know, this depiction, this characterization of him.
Yeah.
That I just really loved.
I wrote his name down. Matt Hagen. The actor.
Yes.
You know, what a cool story, right?
Right.
This actor that he just can't get enough, and he's like, you know, he wants to stay young and good looking.
He gets into like a horrible like accident, and it kind of like disfigures him real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy comes along with some cream that apparently he can
Daggett.
Yeah, he can. You know, he puts it on his face, and he can make himself look like his old face again.
Yeah.
But it keeps wearing off more and more and more,
and it's so addictive, and it's making you crazy.
And also too, he starts kind of running out of money, so he makes him do kind of like illegal stuff to kind of keep paying for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And man, it just gets real bad.
Yeah, especially when they kind of get him, right. That seems pretty gruesome. And they're like, "Oh, you want more?"
That was bad. That was terrible. I remember. I mean, me watching as a little kid, I was kind of like, "What just happened?" Like, like I didn't see this anywhere else. I mean, they turned him into a monster,
and he looked kind of scary too, right? You know what I mean? It was kind of like Batman against someone with like real superpowers, like where he's like, you know, super dangerous,
almost a symbiote, right?
Almost like a symbiote,
his weapons.
Yeah, I thought he looked really cool. In fact, I had looked it up recently because they did a big run of these Batman the Animated Series figures that redone.
That's right. Yeah.
And man, AA, they go for quite a bit, man. Ooh. They're not easy to find.
Of course not, right? Of course not.
But it's cool. They give some of the Clayface like the different heads, and he looks like
because in the episode it starts off like him being Bruce Wayne. Remember?
Yeah, that's the first thing he does.
I think he robs some place or whatever.
Well, he also is like encounters like Lucius or whatever, and he's a total dick in that situation. Yeah. So they're like, wait a minute, you know? What I mean?
There's this. You're not Bruce.
Yeah, and Clayface is for the most part beating Batman's ass. Like he's throwing him around. You know, he has to kind of get creative to kind of get him creative,
and that's what's really cool about the show again that we talk about. Kind of like, okay, I can believe this now. I can believe Batman using his smarts to beat these kind of villains.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, and it's very awesome. It's very cool. I love it. You know, and it's a two-parter, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's two parts: Feats of Clay Part 1 and Part 2. So yeah, I watched.
But I remember seeing it and just being blown away by it. Just being like, wow, I love this character. I hope it comes out more. I want to see Clayface more. I was like, that's a really cool, unique villain. How cool would that be if they ever do bring him into a movie?
Oh man, that would be great. Don't do it like when they first brought Bane in with the Uma Thurman one. You got to do Clayface right. I think it could be a solo.
I mean, do the actor thing. Do that whole origin story.
Yeah, that's a great origin.
That's a great opening.
Yeah, do the whole his transformation or whatever, and you could have Batman kind of fighting thugs up until that point or figuring something out or whatever. But man, it would be a brave choice for someone to choose that as the villain and to do it and get it right.
That'd be awesome. I mean, they've already kind of started to run through a lot of his villains, and now they're like, you know, with this Robert Pattinson one, they're kind of reusing some of them again. So hopefully, if this movie is really good, I could see Robert Pattinson's version doing a Clayface.
Yeah, I would like that. I would love to see how they make it look. You know what I mean? Because you know, he's part of the. He's part of Harley's crew in the
is he?
The funny cartoon,
Okay.
And his whole thing is like he's like, I'm a great thespian, you know what I mean? I'm this great actor. Like they play up that aspect of him, which is funny for her version of the show. But yeah, man, I mean, in this one, in the animated series, he's just great. That was the other guy who I felt besides Freeze that I felt kind of pissed off at Batman, where I was like, man, like, you know, you're wrong. Like, he just wants his revenge. Like, look at this guy turned him into a fucking monster. You know what I mean? Like, and Batman's, you know, here, like, messing that up, you know? But I thought the way the clay was cool, too, the way he used the clay and you know, all that later at the end, he shows Alfred he's kind of, like, making it, you know, do different things. The clay's moving around.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's nuts.
Yeah. That was a very cool one. That was very cool. Give me another one of yours, AA, that you thought...
Well, like the Almost Got Him one, that was just really funny. Mm-hmm. Again, it's one of those episodes where it's all the villains. Somehow, like, they all make time for each other and hang out and are telling their Almost Got Him Batman stories.
Playing poker or whatever it is.
I almost got him here. I almost fucking killed him here, you know? And it's like Joker, it's Two-Face, it's Croc.
Penguin. And then Ivy shows up.
And Ivy, okay.
Yeah. And I love how there's kind of like a hierarchy. Like Joker's like, I'm gonna go last. You know, like mine's gonna definitely be the best or whatever. You know.
But what a great twist, though! Right at the end, like it's like, holy shit! Look, Joker is actually up to something right now. He has Catwoman. He took her prisoner,
and he's trying to like of course we find out, Batman's gone there to like get the intel or whatever,
Yeah.
but in disguise, which is
As
pretty damn
Croc.
cool. Yeah, yeah, and to match, the voice and the look and all that. Of course, in the cartoon you can't tell, but
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
tell yourself, okay, give Batman some credit for that.
But what I mean, just a kind of like a fun episode, kind of like the villain side.
Yeah.
And their stupid stories. Yeah.
And I like when Joker's winning too, the poker or whatever. They're like, let me check your cards or whatever. Like Penguin's like going to the cards, like, what the hell? This guy's up to something or whatever. But yeah, that stuff is definitely fun, man. I don't think I've ever seen another cartoon
But
kind of do
it's
that.
kind of interesting too, kind of like how they kind of portray Catwoman too. Like it's always weird. Like in that one, it's like obviously it's like they all seem to know
Yeah,
there's something between them. You
Yeah.
know, and he knows that Batman would try to save her. That's
Right.
just kind of like,
she's
okay.
kind of like the unofficial love interest, whatever.
Bad, real bad, yeah. And it's always
without
like,
being one.
is she with them? Is she not with them?
Yeah. Okay, let me talk about. I want to talk to you, but there's 2 episodes I wrote. So I rewatched these, and this is the other thing, guys. And I'm not going to say this enough, but just scrolling through, I was like, I know I saw that one. I remember that, or even reading like the 1-sentence description because they don't go deep in it on these descriptions on.
No, they don't.
On HBO Max, but just hearing it, I was like, man, and again, for me, my memory is bad, so for it to be jogged so thoroughly was pretty cool, or whatever. But one of the episodes I watched was season 1, episode 25, the Cape and Cowl conspiracy. Do you remember that one? There's no big bad, really. It's kind of like, this guy is like extorting people or whatever. His name is, I wrote it down, Josiah Wormwood. That name, right?
Damn, no.
Just some blonde guy. But what I remember specifically about this episode was how it ends, pretty much like this Baron hires this Josiah guy who likes to use torture methods or whatever to get whatever he wants. He hires this Baron hires this Josiah guy, and he's like, okay, look, what I want is Batman's cape and cowl. Do you remember that one? Does it kind of ring a bell?
A little bit.
Okay, so
bit.
anyway, so this guy's like, all right, I can get it. I can get anything. I'm that good at my job or whatever. And it's not like he's getting asked to kill Batman. He's just getting asked to get the cape and cowl. So he puts Batman through a series of tests or whatever, and eventually he gets him in a scenario where he's like, look, I'll let you out. Or, no, it's like some gas, like poison gas. He's like, I'll clear the room with the poison gas, but you got to give up the cape and cowl now, or whatever. So Batman does give it up. And the guy is just really curious or whatever. So he takes it into him. He's like, all right, here's your thing. Where's my money or whatever. And gets the money. He's like, all right, come on, look, level with me. What did you want it for? Blah, blah, blah. What did you need the cape and cowl for? And, the Baron starts laughing or whatever. And then he's like, what the hell is this guy laughing at? And he's in his chair. And when he turns around, he goes, because I want to wear them. And you see him stand up, and it's Batman. And he's like, it's you. It was you the whole time you've been playing me or whatever. So it was classic, Batman being the detective. And again, I saw them use that trope a couple of times, but it was still cool every time.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was kind of, as a kid, I was little, but
shit.
scary. Because you just see the chair turn, and then you hear the voice, and he's like, because I want to wear them. And I'm like, oh, what is it, a weirdo or whatever? And then I'm like, oh no, what the fuck? I was like, oh. And then you see him throw the mask down of the Baron, and you're like, oh, that was at the beginning of the episode. So it's neat. In 22 minutes, they have you kind of go through these paces, and then you're like, oh, dang, Batman was pretty slick. He did it the whole time. It's one thing to tell everyone you're smart, or they write where they just say that you're smart, or you call yourself the world's greatest detective. It's another thing when you see it.
Yeah.
And this show does a great job of
Yeah.
letting you see it.
Which I love, which I really, really love about that.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of Batman. When
Agreed.
he's just figuring out that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my favorites, and for the longest time I didn't even know who did the voice and then when I found out, I was like, oh, no wonder why I loved it so much. Beware the Gray Ghost. Love that one.
Yes.
Love that one. And I loved it for years before I had even realized it was Adam West. That's voicing him.
Dang, nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I got that. I remember that.
Yeah, and so I was like, wow, that was almost so perfect. A hero that was trapped by his own fame.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone remembers him just as a Gray Ghost, but for young Bruce Wayne, he loved the Gray Ghost. He models his Batcave after the cave that it shows in the cartoon.
Like the cape too, right?
The
He
cape,
says the
yeah,
cape, And this was like a TV star he was.
It was.
much.
And like I said, it was he was like an actor that, all the jobs froze up afterwards. It was almost like mirroring Adam West.
Yeah.
A lot.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there was this guy who's bombing like Gotham buildings in the way that there's this one episode of the Grey Ghost, and this guy's mimicking.
Yeah, the cars.
Yeah,
the little toy
and
cars.
so Bruce Wayne kind of goes, or Batman goes to Trent. I think his name is was Trent something. Simon Trent.
Simon Trent. Yes, Trent. That's right. That's right.
And he's all like, there's this guy that's mimicking an episode from the show, but I don't have it. I don't know how he's doing it. No one can see how these bombs are going in.
Right.
Do you have the films? Because all the Grey Ghost films are gone.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, here, And, like, Batman's, like, really disappointed at meeting his hero because he's, like, really just down. He's, like, turned, just real bad. He's in bad shape. He has to sell Grey Ghost stuff in order to keep his bills up.
They give you that vibe like he's, like, at the con.
Bad.
Like, the one guy at the con, your small table, and you're just, like, trying to do what you can.
He's just, like, really low on himself, and he's just giving Batman a hard time. And, Batman kind of tells him, like, the Grey Ghost was my hero.
Right.
And it kind of like Batman kind of was like, man, it kind of sucks meeting like the real you, almost, because it's not what I figured,
Yeah.
And I guess it boosts him up because he comes back in the Grey Ghost outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he gives him a video, and he's like, and that's where Bruce figures out he's watching in his movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, Bruce has his own movie theater, and then that's when he figures it out. The toy, it's like a little fucking robot toy that's carrying like a C4, like a big C4 explosion,
like a remote control car, but rigged with that shit. So that's pretty wild.
And at first he accuses him of doing it. Simon Trent.
Oh, interesting.
Until Simon's like, no, I haven't done that. I sold all my gear, and then that's when he snaps. There's this like toy collector / like pawn dealer that collects vintage stuff from shows. Mm-hmm. He does it. He's the one that's getting all the money. He's the one that's using it because he's like, no one's even gonna remember from the Grey Ghost how I'm doing it.
Right. And then that's like a cool plot.
And it really is cool. And then they show like where the Grey Ghost, because of all the interest in the bombings, it gives him like a renewed interest in the Grey Ghost, and he's doing like a signing.
Oh, that's
cool.
And
Bruce Wayne comes, and he tells him almost the same line that he tells him as Batman. And I think he kind of like Grey Ghost kind of like, Simon Trent's like, holy shit, I think that was Batman.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Like, I like that, like, little story that's kind of
really
subtle.
Cool. It was a really cool episode. It's a really fun episode. And again, it's cool that it's Adam West, for a long time, who was considered the ultimate Batman. For a long time.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, there was definitely so much, like heart, thought, time put into these episodes.
Big time.
And it's like, for me, again, like, it's just a big deal that I can't remember anything, but like my brain like latched onto these memories of this show so vividly. I don't know that I can think of another show that I can remember quite as vividly.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's so many good stuff about it that even like that one, the Grey Ghost, that's just like completely made up for this show.
Yeah.
The villain's not even someone that's big either. It's just some dude that runs a toy show, a vintage toy shop.
Yeah.
There's like no big villain or whatever, but this episode really like got to me. I was like, man, that's a really badass episode.
I agree. That's like the one, like I said, I mentioned the Tiger, where he kind of goes to the island of Dr. Moreau.
They kind of change it because how like Zorro was always kind of like the inspiration.
Yes.
And here it's the Grey Ghost.
Yeah. I do remember that being that was more the inspiration. So it's pretty cool. Another one I had wrote down that I wanted to talk to you about was the Perchance to Dream.
Oh, man. Hoo-wee, what a fucked up mind episode.
Is the Mad Hatter cool? Like, are you a badass?
I felt just as pissed off as Batman as he did in the episode.
Dude, that part when he finally thinks it's all good and he hugs his dad, I was like, nah,
Selena, with Selena, his parents are alive, he doesn't have anything to worry about.
If I had one complaint, it would be that I wish you would have had a moment with the mom too. I know it's a short show and you got to get it there, but from there, like no interest in the Batcave, and like you're just like, oh man, what's going on? And like I said,
Selena's like perfect. There's nothing wrong with her. Her being Catwoman, her being a bank thief.
Yeah. And I always remember the line too that he delivers where he's like, oh, this is controlled by the left side of the brain. This is controlled by the right. Mm-hmm. And I remember like that was one of those things that like as a younger person I just put in my memory and I'm like, oh, that's that or whatever.
I've always started to be like, man, let me have a dream where I'm trying to read.
Right? I thought that too.
I never have a dream where I'm reading the fucking paper.
This episode has literally had us wishing that we had a dream where we were reading the paper. So that's another great one.
And man, what a great ending too! Like how he breaks out, right? It's like he's fighting Batman on top of this like clock
Yes.
tower.
Yes.
And his thinking, because I don't know if I would have done it, is to jump off this high rise kind of like clock tower.
And Mad Hatter tells him, he's like, you don't know if it'll work. Like, you don't know that if it's going to work. But that was interesting, too, right? When he, Bruce Wayne's fighting Batman, he unmasks Batman, and it's Mad Hatter.
And like, I flipped out, too. I was like, Mad Hatter? It was that fucker all the time? You know, because it's funny, because I loved him in the episodes, but he's still not one of my favorite rogue galleries.
No.
And you know, it's funny, because I think he's voiced by Roddy McDowall, too. That's
really?
I think so.
That's cool.
If you can kind of hear it now, you can kind of hear
I think so.
You know, Cornelius, Caesar.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's rad, man.
But man, I don't know what I would have done to Mad Hatter. I probably would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, he's in disbelief, but then that moment with his dad. And
because you just like, you have them, you have your parents, you know, and you know, you have a great fiance, you have a great life, and it's just. Like,
and he tells him, he's like, I forget what Mad Hatter tells him, you know, but like, well, he asks him, Batman's like, so you know everything about me? And he's like, no, I don't see the memories. Like, your mind creates that. Like, your mind creates the ideal scenario.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
His toxin kind of helps it along or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, damn, you know, here he's like, oh, I kind of just wanted, like, the, you know, house, wife, and kids, and, you know, dog, cat, and, you know, like, picket fence type thing. And he kind of gets it for a second, you know. And Mad Hatter tells him, he's like, you can stay in there. You can stay in there. You can have that all the time.
I'm like, I can't read, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
How am I gonna be when people are trying to see me read?
Hey, you're fucking rich though. You know, Double A. You just gotta be like, hey, Lucius, read that shit for me. It was basically the Matrix, right? It was like, come and live in the Matrix, in a sense. Like, hey, live the lie.
It's
you know?
like when did Bruce become illiterate?
Well, I did like how he was kind of going through the books, and he was like, ah, like
I would be frustrated too. I'd be like, shit, I can't read fucking shit.
I always tell myself now, I'm like, see, now I know that because like Batman, the animated series taught me that if I'm ever in a dream and I'm like, I can't read, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm in a dream.
I'm good.
I got it now.
Good.
So it's just some book printed that way, right? To make it look all fucked up. But yeah, man, that's another great one. And again, it's like, yeah, the villain is Mad Hatter, who's not exactly like top tier.
How great!
He doesn't really come out. Yeah, because it puts you in this whole other mindset.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck? Like, you know, Thomas Wayne, or what the heck is Mom? You know, like, it's kind of a crazy little ride.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
That's interesting how it gets resolved in the end, and the type of story that it was. I love that one. Give me another one of yours.
Fear of Victory.
Okay.
Scarecrow. This is like, it's not the first appearance of Scarecrow. That already had happened. This one is where he's trying to make money by betting.
Okay.
And he's putting fear into top-notch athletes all over the country.
Okay.
And one of them
dig it.
Yeah, one of them is like a big college game. And this guy's about to be, he's going to be like Heisman winner. He's Heisman, he's going to be the next fucking football star, this quarterback. Well, it's one of Dick Grayson's best friends. And all of a sudden, they get a telegram. That's another thing, right? Telegram.
Yeah. See, like, it does that a lot. Like, there's like a lot of, like, because at one point I saw him pull out a cell phone.
Yeah.
It was a big cell phone, but I was like, okay, still, you got a cell phone. Like, what year is it here?
And so the telegram it's full of that scared the dust.
Oh shit!
And so it gets to the friend and even Dick too. It gets to both of them. And the friend has a game and he's just shook. He's seeing these linemen coming at him, but they're like beasts. They're like monsters.
Damn, that's pretty terrifying.
And he just flips out, man. And this was like a big game for him. This is where like scouts were coming to come see him, so he can play for the Gotham Knights.
Yes, the Gotham Knights. But I always like it that much better than the Gotham Rogues that they use in later movies. I guess
And it's just a great episode because then after a while, Robin starts feeling the effects of it. And him and Batman are on patrol and he starts feeling the effects real bad. Or he's like, Bruce, I can't do it. Like, the easy stuff that they used to do to just, swing on the buildings and everything.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, he's seeing, like, he's having bad vertigo, like real bad. He's like, I can't. And, he's like, oh, shit. So Batman's like, fuck, this is a really bad handicap, right now.
Yeah.
And it concludes like with a big, showdown, and he uses Robin against Batman too. He's like, what are you gonna do? You gonna, beat me up, or are you gonna save your partner there?
Right.
Because he gives him like an antidote.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going all over the fucking place, and Robin finally beats his fear. He swings, he gets the antidote, he drinks it, and he snaps out of it. But
Yeah, it's
it's
pretty
a really cool
man.
episode, and really it's cool to see. It shows like what Scarecrow can do,
Right.
this stupid nerdy scientist, but how big of a threat it is to Batman when his plan goes right. What a big threat he is to the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
To Batman and Robin.
Yeah. No, definitely. He's kind of the primary villain in the season 3 of Titans or whatever.
Ah, okay. Shit, nice.
He's not in
Nice.
the cool Scarecrow costume. It's kind of like he's he's trying to be Dr. Crane or whatever.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that kind of sucks. But otherwise, he is like the big bad in that one. Yeah, I mean, guys, there's literally too many great episodes. There's no way we can get to them all. We're gonna try and touch on some of our favorites.
And like I said, it really highlighted the Bane episodes are really good.
Mm-hmm. I've seen clips of
man.
those. I haven't watched. I need to watch
You need
those
to see
as well.
them. They're really good.
Yeah.
That's where Batman really, really has to fucking think outside the box against Bane.
Yes.
Because Bane is just as good of a fighter as Batman is, but not as strong as Bane is. So
Right.
That's where
Especially
you're
when Venom's up.
yeah.
And all
The Riddler episodes are fucking amazing. John Glover does the voice.
Is
Lionel
that right?
Luthor.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I remember the voice of the Riddler, but I didn't realize it was him. That's
Yeah,
pretty
there's
cool.
so many I think his first appearance is it's titled "If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich?"
Why aren't you rich? Yeah, I remember
Because he
that.
built this really badass game for this developer, this company, right? Well, they somehow get the rights to it and throw out Enigma, so he doesn't get anything. So he comes back for revenge, doing these riddles, and it's a really good episode. It really is. There's one with the Minotaur where he traps them in the virtual
I
reality.
remember that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's kind of coming out big head versus him, and
And then there's
stuff.
another
That's
episode.
That's a cool episode.
Yeah, there's another episode where he comes out of jail and he's trying to tell everyone that he's reformed, but Batman, he's like, I
He's not
know you.
playing it.
I know you. You're going to fucking snap because you're going to want to play your games. And he even tells his thugs, he's like, he's right,
Damn.
Batman. So he does it one more time. He traps him. He's like, I killed Batman. He's happy. He's like, whew, that feeling's gone. And Batman shows up and arrests him, because he uses one of his own devices against Riddler to capture him. And he's like, how did you survive? How?
Yeah.
He doesn't tell him.
Yeah.
And so they show at Arkham, the last scene, he's screaming. Everyone's like, even Joker is like, man, shut the fuck up.
I love
He's
moments
just
like that.
screaming,
Yeah.
man, how did he get out?
Yeah.
It was perfect.
There's so many cool moments like that throughout this show. Where you just there's the frustration.
You kind of wonder, right? How would Riddler fit in Arkham with someone like the Joker? And then it kind of shows you, well, this dude is just as fucking nuts as the Joker too. And I'm really excited to see what this Robert Pattinson version, how they're gonna do the Riddler.
Yeah,
in this
totally.
one. I'm
It looks creepy already.
Really interested to see how they're gonna do it.
It's rowdy, serial killer vibes. I'm like, what the fuck is up with
And
that?
that's why I was saying, if you can do the Riddler right, it could be really, really cool. It could be a really cool movie.
Definitely. They're trying to figure out the clues, the frustration, or whatever. You almost need it to be kind of like a version of Seven somehow.
Almost,
you know what I mean?
almost,
So you definitely get a deep character.
So I'm
in that
really,
sense.
really excited. That's what's really got me looking forward to this new movie.
Yeah,
of Batman.
and it's the Paul Dano, right? Whatever, Paul Dano.
Is he? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
I don't know if he's the one in the suit or whatever, but I
Yeah.
think that's who it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're almost up at our next break here. We'll take this one, and we might just do one more block for you guys since it is a weeknight, and Double A and I both have to work tomorrow. And there's also too many damn episodes to talk about.
Too many.
And we'll talk a little bit about maybe some more of both mine and Double A's favorites, but also we'll talk about the kind of the season 3 that we both didn't really watch too much of. I don't know. Did you watch any for research?
I did.
Okay.
I still watch.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm not that caught up with it, but you did give me those couple episodes, and it was really good. Especially the one Old Wounds. Featuring my guy here, Nightwing, which is a very
That's a
interesting
heartbreaking episode.
Yeah, very heartbreaking, and very much the Batman that I dislike. So, but yeah, guys, let's go ahead and take this break now, so we can come back as quickly as possible, and then continue out and round out this episode on Batman the Animated Series. I know we only scratched the surface, but there's no way. There's probably a whole podcast dedicated to just this show.
Yeah,
I have no doubt.
Probably.
So by all means. But all right, guys, we're gonna take this quick one, and then we'll be right back. If you're here with us live, we're not going anywhere. All right, Double A. I'm struggling with having to go to the potty, so I'm gonna let you take these. I saw Ray said Spurs kicking ass. Love that. I'll be right back.
Joe says DC animated universe continues same core people. Each villain has tragic stories. Yeah, we agree, Joe. I think that's what makes this animated series really, really good, and sometimes more compelling than the comics themselves. Ray says Spurs kicking ass. All right, awesome. Joe, back to Joe. A lot of the characters in the Batman video game are themed from this show. Yeah, I mean, how could you not? They're just really, really good. Um, I mean, how can you not do it? Paul Dini wrote the game stories and Jim Lee's designs. Oh, that's awesome. Almost Got Him was great. Almost played like a clip show. It allowed them to fit 3 shows in one. Yeah, I think that's why I like that one so much. One of my favorites is World's Finest. Yeah, that was great. When he meets Superman, yeah, that was a great pairing. That was a great episode. Scarecrow designs were some of the best. I love the Scarecrow's designs. I like most of the designs that they did for him. I mean, a lot of these episodes are really good. I mean, like even like the Clock King. I don't know if we'll probably get into that or not, but I mean, the Clock King was really good. I mean, that's like a villain that you wouldn't really think of that would be interesting, but they made him real interesting in the cartoon. This guy who's always on time for everything, who schedules it by the minute. He misses his appointment, he loses his company, he blames the mayor. He kidnaps the mayor, holds him for ransom, hold him, for all that stuff, and he actually does pretty well against Batman too. Somehow he's able to figure out how fast Batman throws a punch, how fast he kicks. So I mean, it made even like that guy like really cool, like the episodes. Like I said, the Riddler episodes were always really good. Joe says that the games that most of the time they use these kind of like histories from the animated series.
Oh, nice, nice.
And I was saying, I mean, it's really cool. I was like, I told him, I don't know if we're gonna get to it, but I was like, even like the Clock King episode,
yeah,
it made like even that kind of
character, yeah,
like that whole story was just a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
Like how Mayor Hill, he blames him for missing his appointment and he loses his business and everything.
See, as you talk about that, I'm starting to remember it pretty vividly. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that episode pretty vividly.
And I was like, man, that's a really good episode for like a really lame kind of like villain.
Yeah,
the villain's not cool at all. No. It's not really a cool villain, but that whole story is just really cool. That episode.
Yeah. That's a testament to get so much of that out of these characters, whatever.
And then Joe says World's Finest is one of his favorites, where he meets Superman.
Nice. Yeah. What season is that one?
I think that was the third one already.
Okay, the third one.
Yeah.
Oh, good shit on that one. I saw in one of the little thumbnails as I was going through the episodes, but it looks like they showed Condiment King even, which is like a pretty bad one or whatever, But even if it's someone just to get knocked around, this show did a great job of showcasing.
Oh, it really did.
Yeah. Characters like that. Characters I didn't know anything about, because I don't think I knew anything about Ra's al Ghul before these.
I'll say, like, one of the episodes I'm probably not too crazy about is the Heart of Steel one.
I remember that one.
I remember I wasn't really too crazy. I think that's a Blade Runner shit.
Like a vibe of it?
Because
okay.
You seen Blade Runner, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you remember that toy maker or the one that they visit?
Yes.
The one that Daryl Hannah's with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's the voice of this dude.
Oh, cool.
Of this professor that makes those robots.
Yes, I do remember that.
So I was kind of like, that must be a Blade Runner connection. Yeah.
I think there were sometimes they tried to kind of swing for the fence and like get like another kind of like sympathetic episode, and it didn't really come out that way. I'm trying to see about any of the ones that I wrote down besides Heart of Ice, Feet of Clay, Night of the Ninja, Tiger, Day of the Samurai. Joe said to watch Over the Edge. I did write that one.
And see, I want to say maybe even two, it was because of this series that the whole Harley Ivy thing happened.
Yeah, they have an episode by themselves.
And it's called Harley and Ivy. And, that's where that whole friendship started, which became with love.
Yeah, and she's calling her, she calls her Red. She's like, hey, Red, so that's pretty cool. And apparently,
like, Poison Ivy shit doesn't bother her just like it doesn't bother Joker.
Right.
Right. Whatever crap that they fell into or whatever.
Yeah.
Her poisons don't work on them.
It's a pretty interesting dynamic on that one for sure. What do you think, Double A? Get into this last
Yeah.
block here. We'll
Yeah,
leave the
yeah.
comments open, guys. So anyone else that's still hanging out with us out here, we'll read your comments live as we're going along on this next block, so we can wrap it up on Batman the Animated Series. Again, we could come back and do a whole nother episode on like 10 new episodes each that we both loved because it's such a great series. There was episodes that I scrolled past that I was like, oh, I want to watch these. You know,
and then
what I mean?
there's even like some of the movies that came out during his time
Mask
period.
of the Phantasm is
Man,
the one I saw.
love Mask of the
I
Phantasm.
think a lot of people love that one. Yeah.
What a great one.
And he became kind of like a prominent later on. They kind of, oh, that's right. Yeah, because she was part of one of the comic book series. I think they had brought that character back. And
Andrea Beaumont or something like that.
Yeah, they wanted people. People were interested in getting those comics. I remember.
And then the Sub-Zero movie, that's how popular Mr. Freeze was.
Mr. Freeze, the Sub-Zero movie. Yeah, very true, very true. And those went to they both went to theaters.
Yeah,
so it was like a big
they actually
deal.
did. Yeah.
Cool. Let me get this next recording going. And then we'll finish out talking. I would say probably our first discussion on Batman the Animated Series because there's so much store that you could talk about more regarding this great show. All right, guys, it is a weeknight, so Double A and CM got to check out a little bit earlier than usual, but we did not want to in any ways shorten or cheapen
the episode, especially a very important one like it is to me and CM. Like we love this cartoon just as a shitload of people that love it. I mean, as we've seen in Comic Cons and our visits to Comic Cons, whenever Kevin Conroy has been there.
Yes,
I mean, man, that love is there.
Oh, totally. And again, guys, we're doing an episode about a show that we love, but is a wealth of a show. I mean, you could do, and I'm sure people have done this. Like I said, there's probably a whole podcast dedicated just to this show.
You could probably do 2 years of podcasts if you did it once a week.
Yeah,
just to break down one episode.
Exactly, and even then, you can dissect certain episodes. Like you can dissect them out for how all the little parts. But we're keeping the comments open for this part. Joe also said Scarecrow's designs are some of the best. Yeah, I agree. He looked really cool. He looked really creepy. A lot of times, like the characters didn't have pupils. Clayface. I thought that end of Feet of Clay, where it's the woman. He's like, remember, Daggett was an actor. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a shell. I was almost like, damn, this is like the Usual Suspects before the Usual Suspects. And then you see that woman laughing, and her opens her eyes, and they're yellow. And I was kind of like, dang, this shit gives me like legit chills. Like, they're pretty freaky. But I was just, again, I keep saying this, Double A, because I couldn't get over the fact is how I scrolled through and I was like, I would like read the one, HBO Max, not very descriptive on the animated series, one sentence description, and I was like, oh, I remember that one, An episode like Tiger, where he reads the poem. I believe is it Robert Blake?
I'm not too sure.
I want to get the right name.
I'm not big on poems.
On the poems. Yeah, but
I only know Andrew Dice Clay's poems.
There you go. But this one is so great because they make reference to it, and I remember I was like, "Oh man, I got to go read that actual poem," because I want to know, who it's by. They referenced it in Batman. It's got to be good. William Blake.
Okay.
So okay. But they're talking about Tigress, whatever. And at the end, Batman reads like the first. Call it stanza when it's a poem or whatever. I think it might be. I don't know what it's called. He reads that first part.
Yeah, I don't know about those.
Yeah, it's Tiger burning bright. I think it's in the forest of the night. But anyway, it's awesome when you see it in that way. You're like, oh damn! Like I said, you're getting a little bit of an education. How about one of my favorites, and I think your favorites, Double A, regarding the ninja episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But the second part where he's in Japan.
Yes.
And I believe it's Kyotokai, you know what I mean? And he takes off his cowl and the cape, and he fights and just, he's Bruce Wayne with the Batman sword, because he tells the one girl, I think it's the girl he tells, he's like, once you fight a guy, like, your style, like, it's like a fingerprint. Like, he knows who I am now, because I fought him as Batman and Bruce Wayne, so he's like, oh, that's who you are, like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like,
and he doesn't even care about that. He doesn't care about, like, even, like, I'm gonna fucking tell everyone you're Batman. He's like,
dude, how villainous is Kyotokai? Like, he's villainous, man. Like, he's just like, I want this method, this fighting style, to be like unbeatable, and you're just like, what the heck? This is pretty wild. And it made me think, Double A, like, were these episodes, some of these episodes with the more offshoot characters, were they based on some type of comic? Or
honestly, I don't know. I want to say that he was just made for this cartoon
Yeah.
because obviously he has a complete ending.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
he does. Yeah, he sure does.
There's only 2 episodes, and yeah, they made sure that he wasn't coming back for another one.
Yeah. And I wonder if they wrote those back to back because again they came out separately.
I don't know,
but
man, they must have got a good reaction to that first episode that they were like, you know what, let's finish up this story.
Yeah.
With him.
I have to admit, like episode wise, you know, those 2 are some of my favorites. I think
that
those
ending was always one of my favorite endings.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was kind of like, wow, like he's just like going out just
And
like that.
Again,
you know?
right? Batman tries to save him.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, he's like, I'm not gonna let you,
Yeah,
you know,
and he's
or whatever.
cool with it, man. He's just like,
Yep. That was
and
very
boom,
dude.
it's like,
so
oh.
much balls, man. I was like,
Ooh.
oh damn, that's ballsy. But
Almost
yeah,
kind of like realize like, wow, like he's actually trying to save me. He's kind of like a better man, you know. I'm already like falling,
yeah,
falling away from this fucking, you know, ideals that we were both brought up on.
Yeah.
You know, and he's probably the more embodiment of what that was that they were teaching us than I ever was. And
right.
You know, maybe it was just something like that where he's like, you know what, I don't deserve this.
They talk about that, you know, like you know
know?
him being the gaijin that came in and was like, you know, shit. You happen to be in class and the guy across from you is Batman. It's like you ain't gonna be looking good in front of him.
Yeah.
But you know, I just loved like that how it played with like here I'm so invested in these episodes and there's no like there's no Joker, no Penguin, there's no like weird villain or whatever.
And
it's
that's
just
what
a guy.
I loved. That's what I loved about this cartoon was I was like, wow, like I don't need Joker
Right.
and all of them. I don't need
Right.
you know, Penguin, Riddler. I don't need these high profile
Yeah.
villains. Like these episodes are really damn good too. you
Yeah.
know?
And then you found out how much you loved when the villains were together though. Like it's
Yeah.
like, oh, y'all are hanging out. Like that's cool. That's kind of how I imagine it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I totally dig that. Anything else in comments here?
No.
Okay, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you wanted to touch on regarding specific episodes? We talked about all mine. We talked about Heart of Ice, Feet of Clay, Night of the Ninja, Tiger, Day of the Samurai.
What about some of like what Joe said, the crossovers?
Okay.
The World's Finest, where they, you know, they both meet up. Bruce Wayne comes to Metropolis, you know, and they both figure out their identities.
Yeah, their identities, yeah. I'd have to refresh myself.
It was
and
really
watch
cool.
That
Like
one. I'd love to watch
he
that. I'm gonna write that one down.
Like he pretty much already knows, like he's Superman, but he sends like a bomb.
Yeah.
And like Clark gets it and it explodes, and you know, and Batman's like this with the binoculars watching, you know, and he's like, "Hi, Clark," you know, and you know he sees through it. Like Superman cheats, he uses his X-ray vision.
Oh yeah,
and he sees who it is. Like Bruce Wayne. You know?
I love that, man. And like that seems cool, right? Because I guess they have like rights or whatever to use the character. So pretty awesome.
And then you know that one that I had you see too. I think it's from the Superman episode though, where he goes to Gotham.
Yes.
Because like one of them, you know, he's like, what's one of Batman's like lackeys doing in Metropolis? You know.
Yeah.
And he's like, where's Batman? You know, and him and Tim team up and. You know, he just whips everyone's ass in that. You know, all of Batman's rogues, like 3 of Batman's rogue galleries, like real easy. You know?
Yeah, such a great episode. Much like the one you had me watch, AA, from season 3, I believe. Is it season 3?
Old Wounds.
Old Wounds.
Yes, the new adventures of Batman.
I Guy Nightwing here, and pretty much the story of. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to tell him, like, you really became like a huge Nightwing fan.
Yes,
like, huge.
Love
like,
Nightwing.
And you love everything about how Dick became, right? Like,
absolutely.
Just, you know, he's this absolute best fighter. We said he should be top 5, maybe best fighters in DC.
I think he should definitely be, and I think he should even be like on the Justice League already at this point. It's kind of like one of those things where, like,
I mean, he's that good already. Where you know he has the same awareness as Batman. You know?
Look at how in this one incarnation of the Avengers, fairly recently, where it's like, oh, they kind of finally put Spider-Man and Wolverine on. I'm like, yeah, you kind of had to, because y'all have been going around calling them like the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the best team supposedly in Marvel, and I'm like, you don't even have the two of the bigs, you know. It's like, but you add Spider-Man and Wolverine, it certainly makes that team much more formidable.
And we didn't really go into it, but you know, George Perez, you know,
yes,
he just let every one of his fans know that he only has like a year to live. Is involved in the creation.
Yeah,
of
that's
Nightwing,
right. That's right.
Just
very
like how that whole
pivotal
argument about Winter Soldier. Well, it's Bucky,
right?
Okay, but I created
this
Winter Soldier
yes.
that you're using.
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I didn't
and
create
that's what
Robin,
George
but
Bettis
Nightwing.
did, you know.
Yeah, man.
With Mark Wolfman, you know, they both, you know, created Nightwing.
I love that picture that you posted, man, and I just was like really digging that art.
Everyone was bummed out.
Yeah.
You know, one of our huge pictures on Instagram is just like a page of his artwork with Nightwing, and it blew up with like so many likes. I was like, oh wow. Maybe I was like, I even told him maybe I should just put up like George Bettis pages of artwork, you know, because fuck, it blew up like a lot. And this was like before he diagnosed, you know, he got his diagnosis, you know.
Yeah.
But
And you had the pleasure of meeting him, right?
I had the extreme great pleasure of meeting him.
Which con?
So. It was the Texas Comic Con, the one that everyone hates.
Nice. Yeah.
With that dude, that douchebag.
Right. Damn, man. That's one I definitely regret missing.
And he was signing for free, and I told everyone like how amazing that was, because people were bringing stacks to him, and he was just signing because he said he was so well off that he didn't need to charge anyone for comics. He was really well off with
crazy,
whatever
man.
Contract he signed with DC. So
that's crazy. That is awesome, though. I love that about him. You know what? Miracles happen, guys. So I mean, I'm gonna pray for recovery for him.
But yeah,
I love the chance to meet
big
him at a con.
creation of Nightwing.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff on Titans.
Yeah.
You know, Infinite Crisis. And I remember as I was looking at the pictures that you posted, I was like, man, this is comic book art. This is gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, so beautiful to see that stuff, and hopefully we're going to keep George Bettis in our thoughts and in our prayers, him and his family, and hopefully for hey, it's Christmas time, guys. You know, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, but back to Old Wounds. I just wanted to give him credit for that because he's the creator of the Nightwing.
So this is
character.
an episode that you gave me in probably like the last year.
Yeah, because
you're
when
like,
you told me,
check it
you're
out.
like, man, did you ever see Old Wounds? And you're like, no, I never really got that far. I was like, it's Nightwing. And he's kind of discusses his breakup with, the hard breakup with Batman.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo breakup,
Which I found very interesting right away. I was like, oh, I got to read this. It sounds super good,
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome. I mean, pretty much Batman's going too far. Like he tries to stop people all the time from going too far. Well, he's going too far.
At this point, for whatever reason, he's like demanding that Dick be there with him, like on patrols. Like, it's like, I thought this was what you signed up for. You signed up to do all this. It's like all of a sudden he wants him to drop like all his college and his personal life. It's like he wants him just to be straight up Robin, like Batman Robin. It's kind of like, whoa, what the hell happened here? Because again, in the earlier episodes, we always talk about like how Robin's not there all the time,
right?
That we must assume that Bruce, was like, hey, go do your stuff.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden,
somewhat.
But then all of a sudden, as he got older and older, it was kind of like, well, I expect you to be here.
Yeah.
Like now you're old enough.
That's a different dynamic. That's the Uncle Lars dynamic where it's like, oh, who's going to tend these crops?
Yeah, now Dick's out of that mindset, that kid mindset, where it was like, man, this is badass. I'm Batman's partner. Now he's older now, and he's starting to have other thoughts. He's like, man, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I do not want to be patrolling, at night. I would like to have an actual life.
Yeah, you've got that like maturity kind of check in a way.
Because he's kind of like, how long can we actually keep doing this though?
Yeah.
How long can we keep jumping on buildings before our fucking knees go out?
Yeah.
How long before the scars keep piling up that we're not going to be able to even breathe probably on our own?
Yeah, and see that's the thing is because in my opinion that's one of the reasons why I became such a fan of Dick Grayson and loving him as Nightwing is because I see that he sees that there is got to be an end in sight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Batman doesn't see that. And no matter what, it's like, oh, I'll keep going.
I'll keep going and going
until I eventually get killed or
die
in battle or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas Dick is like, no, there's more to life than that, man. Like, I know that something heinous happened to you. It happened to me too. But
I know how you feel.
Yeah, truly. So it's like the empathy is there. It's like, but he's going to go and there's more to life, what I mean, is what he sees. And so that's an interesting
because they
concept.
even show like he's on a date with Barbara, and like he's calling him, and he's kind of like, I'm in the middle of something,
man. So it's kind of neat when,
and it's really cool how they do it too. Like, it's like him and Tim.
Yes,
and Tim asks him like, what happened? What happened between you two? And just that whole story how it plays out.
I love that.
Yeah, and you just see. no matter how well he trained him and everything, he does not have the same beliefs as
Nope.
Bruce does. You
Nope.
know?
He does things different, man, and out of that, that's when we
He
see
has
him.
more compassion.
Yeah, and in that moment where this guy is just like some hired thug that took this job with thugs in order so he could like buy his family food. He's the one that gets caught, you know what I mean, by Batman. So Batman pummels him, as Batman does, and it's like, oh, well, you know.
And he's interrogating him hard.
Yeah.
Super hard. And,
Yeah.
like, Robin's, like, at this point, he's still Robin. Robin's, like, he's seeing the wife and the kid, and they're just, like,
They're terrified, yeah. Especially, like, the kid thing, I think,
Yeah.
really messed him
And,
up, where
yeah,
he was like, hey, man, knock it
It's
off
like,
already,
hey,
you
cut
know?
it out, you know, the kid's here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care, you know, this dude almost tried having us killed, you know,
Yeah.
he's going to be part of that attack, you know.
It's just something like, so like the sooner we get answers, the sooner whatever.
The sooner
And I'm
we'll
like,
leave.
I'm
But,
like, dude, like, go beat him up in the back room or something. I'm like, you're
and
beating
Dick
him here in
finally
front of
just
his
tells him,
kids.
he's like, you know what, I had enough. I
Yeah.
just had enough of
Because
this.
you don't want to listen to reason.
Yeah.
At that point, you
At
know,
that point,
like,
he's full
"Oh."
Batman mode.
Yeah.
Full
Yes.
mode.
Yeah. And I think, you know, Dick, too, is a person that is like, look, man, you're supposed to know me and trust me or whatever,
Yeah.
and you won't even hear me out. Like, then
Yeah.
you're just an asshole. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, that's it. But yeah, it's cool, though, as you know, Nightwing's recanting the story and all that, and you seeing him kind of running around and stuff. But I thought it was very, very good, that one. What about, was there any others, Double A, that you
I mean,
felt
there's
like?
so many.
I know, there is. There
I mean,
is.
I didn't even touch like on the Croc episodes. Those are like where
Yes.
he just gets his ass kicked back.
I love the circus one.
Yeah.
That was one that stuck. I saw it
Yeah.
as I scrolled through, and I was like, I remember that
Yeah.
one where he's
Yeah.
walking around. And
Uh-huh.
I remember thinking that the art of like the forest area looked really neat.
Yeah.
You know.
And like I said, the Bane episodes. That's where I really found out about Bane. You know, love those episodes. Love
Yes.
the Bane episode. Ra's al Ghul was another one I found out through the animated series. You know, the Lazarus Pit.
The Lazarus Pit, I learned about that too.
whole
Talia,
history
yeah.
with him and Talia.
Yeah, that's where I learned about that too.
You know.
Whatever. So I need to go back and revisit the Bane episodes though, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure I remember those that well in this one. But great stuff. Joe says, Batman loves two things: vagina and crime. Dude's forever chasing tail.
I don't know. He doesn't like going down.
Yeah, or he wasn't allowed to anyway. I'll say this: I don't know if Bruce was really chasing it as much as it was that he was having
That's-
to kind of upkeep appearances.
That's
you know what I
really
mean?
not like up on his like priority list.
Yeah.
At all. His
mean-
nights are on the streets like patrolling.
Unless he did some research, maybe, and it showed him that he could patrol harder if he got some every now and then. You know what I mean? Or got a release, he could be a better
Which he
fighter.
probably does
you know?
every now and then. He probably
Yeah.
does do it.
Oh
but-
yeah. I'm sure it doesn't take a lot. You know what I mean? Drop some of that Wayne Corp money on them, and they're all good. Let's see. What else did Joe say?
He
here?
goes, the episode where the nanobites take over Bruce and Superman has to play Batman. That's the one where Superman comes down,
Okay.
kicks the shit out of Bane.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
beats Brainiac up. You know.
But that's a Justice League episode, right? Or is it-
no. That's
Superman
I think
episode.
it's a Superman episode.
Yeah, I believe so.
Or it's considered a crossover episode.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess you can say it's both.
That's fantastic. That's a great one.
I mean, the same dudes. I think, right? Like, same dudes, like Paul Dini.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the art looks just like that because
Yeah.
that Lois looks like the kind of
Yeah.
like the round face
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. So, yeah, man, too many damn good ones. Again, it's a show that truly holds up. You can watch it anytime.
I mean, shit,
you
I
know?
watched it again, like in August, September, when I
Yeah.
was, like, just going through them.
Now, when you do a watch, double, how did you go? Episode 1?
No,
two?
no. I
You
go through
jump
my
around?
favorites. Yeah, I jump around.
Yeah.
And before I know it, I mean, I was already, like, I had seen a lot of them, like
Yeah.
a shitload of them, you know.
And that's what's the fun part about it is too, right? It's like
Yeah.
here it's this. This is the run. It's all
Yeah.
out. Whatever, you can watch it at your leisure.
Watch
you
it
know what I
anytime,
mean? So-
yeah. And like
or-
you said,
or
super
randomly.
quick.
Yes.
Super quick. So you can watch, like, 3-4 of them in almost, like, an hour.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So-
3 episodes and you've got like an hour done, so for sure. But let me check how we're doing on time here. Oh, I think we're good, Billy. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, there's just too many. You know, there's too many episodes out there to kind of get into each and every one.
Now,
that we
why do you
love,
think, though, people consider this almost top 2 cartoons of all time? Why does this do battle with The Simpsons for a lot of people's list, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that one of the things is that it had a lot of heat coming off of the Batman movie. And like you said, the other one was going to come out.
We love the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that cartoon almost has like a more serious tone
Yeah.
than this one does. Hard to believe, you know.
Well, I know that for me, like I loved it so much, that I was like,
Stories are just so better.
yeah,
right?
and it was like the perfect companion to the movie. You know what I mean?
He
And
almost
the
felt like he was
movies.
part of that universe,
Yes,
right?
yeah, totally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, like kind of like some of the way I guess maybe Burton's like the gothic style or whatever they call it. But yeah, because things in that show are very like there's blimps, there's police blimps. You know, like,
there
that's
is police blimps.
an interesting concept. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but I mean, I dug it, and I was like, oh man, this all seems like really cool. You know what I
And
mean?
like you say, you just don't know the period, right? You're just
Right,
like, what period is this?
But I kind of
supposed
like
to
that it's kind of ambiguous because it's like, oh, well, you don't really need to
be?
know
Yeah.
to
You
get
kind
the
of get the
vibes.
best of both worlds, right?
Yes.
The classic cars, but with the modern
Yes,
technology.
100% agree, man. 100% agree. Which makes it perfect. I think it's it deserves, if it is thought of up there with The Simpsons, it deserves
I
to be
mean,
up there.
a lot of times I see it. I mean, people just like when you say Batman animated series, people go right away like, oh,
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
I've been in so many groups where it's like people post up, pictures of all the live action, Batman and whatever, and it's someone inadvertently always does put like, oh, Rogue One, Rogue One is the best, and that's it. So I definitely get it, man. I definitely get it.
Joe says he's gonna watch them again, and then he says Justice League has a great Christmas episode as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, send us that, Joe, in the group.
And then Joe says it's timeless. It's just real timeless.
And again, it's the time right now of year that you would check out episodes like that. So that's a great pull right there. Nothing else in comments. Double A, what do you think? Anything else that you might want?
It is a Thursday.
Yeah, it is a Thursday. It is a Thursday. We both got work tomorrow and other stuff. So But anything else, Double A, that you think you want to like say or mention regarding the animated series?
Yeah, I was just gonna say too. Like, I'm trying to get the voices because I mean there is a lot. I was really surprised like on how the cast members were.
Yeah.
Bob Hastings. Let me see where. No, not Bob Hastings. I was thinking of someone else.
Okay.
But like John Glover did like the voice of the Riddler.
Who was
Lionel Luthor.
Lionel Luthor.
If anyone
in
watched Smallville. But like Roddy McDowell,
pretty heavy hitters there, man, for sure.
Melissa Gilbert for Barbara. She voiced Barbara.
Oh, okay. Wasn't she
from Little House on the Prairie?
Oh, okay. Am I thinking of the little girl from Roseanne? Is she the same girl?
No, not her.
Okay.
No. But I mean, like her. I mean, it was kind of like Mary Lou Henner was there. Adam West, Mark Hamill, Adrienne Barbeau was Catwoman.
She's in Swamp Thing. Yeah.
John Vernon was Rupert Thorne. Roddy McDowell, was the Mad Hatter. Ron Perlman, Clayface.
Oh,
he's Clayface.
Man, that's where I recognized that voice. Great stuff.
Ed Asner was Daggett.
Yeah, that's great too, man. He was Santa Claus in Elf.
David Warner is Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
I know you know him. He's always playing like a villain in movies.
Yeah, he looks familiar. He does look familiar, yeah. He kind of also looks a little bit like Ian McKellen. Looks some Ian McKellen vibes.
Let me see real quick if I can.
Okay. Joe says, great ep. Good night, guys. Or should I say good night with a K. Very awesome, Joe. Thank you for being here, Joe. Thank you for all your contributions, as always. Man, I hope you and Lucky are going to get in the studio and record soon. I'm hankering for a new
ep.
Which one?
Titanic. Billy Zane's guy.
Yes.
That's him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So, like the cast, too, is kind of like, oh, wow. Like Adrienne Barbeau is kind of like, oh, wow, Selena. Now you can hear it. And Ron Perlman, that's Clayface. Kind of like, oh, wow,
They got a few people that were like kind of hanging around. They were like, hey, man, come and do this show.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, at that time, too, and now, they're all... pretty highly respected. So.
I'm sure if they read it off the page too, they're just like, oh, this is a pretty cool story. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to know more. So.
And it doesn't hurt to have it on your resume too now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Good stuff.
Just again, it's just a badass cartoon. If you have never seen it, it's on HBO Max right now. You can see all the episodes right now, even the new adventures of Batman and Robin. So we highly encourage you to check them out if you never have. Or if you lived it like me and CM did, watch them again, and you'll be like, man, I remember this one. Damn,
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah.
Damn, that was good. You know?
Totally.
So
I agree. I couldn't agree more. There were so many things that I ran across just in the few, maybe handful of episodes I watched before coming over, and it was just like, man, this is really good shit.
Yeah.
Like, we should definitely be, getting something for that would make it,
and I can't wait to promote this one.
Yes, I know,
really
man. It's
fun
going to be
promote.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be totally awesome. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this one. We certainly did. Gave me a chance to wear my Nightwing shirt that I'd been kind of
awesome.
reserving.
Cool shirt.
Thank you very much, Double A. I love yours too. Yeah, guys, something we like to say at the end of every show before we get going. And again, leaving early only tonight because of the fact that
It's Thursday.
Just another Thursday night. Guys, seize the day. Something that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish, a hope, a dream, a goal. No time like the present. Much like the Warner Brothers execs that seized on the Batman hype of the '89 movie and, created something totally awesome out of it with Batman the Animated Series that we can still enjoy to this day, just like those movies, but equally as much, if not more so for some. So go out there, seize the day, guys. In order to do that, you have to sometimes do whatever it takes. Although I'm sure there wasn't a lot that they had to do. They were just like, we want to do a Batman cartoon. They were like, no time is better than right now.
You know what? They did whatever it took to make Mr. Freeze popular.
Yes, they certainly did.
Yeah.
And thankfully they did, because they created, maybe just an average villain or below average.
Below average.
One of the most iconic and maybe sought after. I know his figure was sold out that I wanted. And
it went up a lot.
I was like, man, it's cool because it looks just like the animated series one with the gun,
Yeah.
And I love that iconic sound they gave it.
Yep.
And it was like, oh, man.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, seize the day, do whatever it takes. For myself, CM Chuck, and
Double A.
This has been just another Friday night, guys, on Thursday. But we appreciate you. We thank you for being here. Join us next week on Wednesday. We're going early again because Double A's got family stuff, and we both got Spider-Man. So we hope that we'll see you guys there swinging webs and helping Spider-Man find his way home. Okay, guys, for us here, good night.